Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Director Watch, an AwardsWatch podcast that attempts to get inside the mind of cinema's greatest auteurs, explore what drives them, and maybe we go on a few unrelated tangents along the way. I'm Ryan McQuade, the executive editor here at AwardsWatch, and joining me, as always, is the Bug Man, my co-host, Jay Ledbetter.
Ryan, we're talking Starship Troopers, and I got one question for you.
All right.
Would you like to know more?
Sure.
We're doing it. I can't wait to talk about this movie. My goodness.
This is a big one, buddy, for you.
This is a huge one. This is, I'll put it out there, my favorite Paul Verhoeven film.
Whoa, you're putting all your cards in.
I'm putting it out there immediately. My favorite Paul Verhoeven movie. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Maybe not necessarily the hottest take in the world, although I would say if you poll 100 people on their favorite Paul Verhoeven movie, it's probably 75 RoboCop, I would assume.
Do you think so? Or do you think
Starship Troopers is probably second?
Yeah. Total Recall's up there too, probably.
Ish.
Right?
Yeah. I just
Showgirls
feel like
has got its
Troopers
fan base.
Fully adopted as like a contemporary classic.
Well, we talked about it last week, but Showgirls has got its following, its cult
Showgirls
following,
for sure.
You're talking about. Yeah. It's a big Black Book contingent out there.
I'm not sure about that, but maybe.
Hey,
a lot of Hollow Man people.
Hollow Man. Everybody's
if you go to prison, I'm sure Hollow Man is probably one of the more popular choices.
Hey, prison system in America is pretty rough. You never know. But we're here to talk about Starship Troopers. I'm very excited to talk about this one, buddy. This is kind of, in a lot of ways, this is the reason why we did the Paul Verhoeven series, so we can get your definitive take on this one. In a lot of ways, do you have a take on this?
I just love Verhoeven in general. I know, but yeah,
this is a you put a star on the calendar when we're doing this.
This is an important movie for me, no doubt about it.
It's very important. It's almost like if a movie was an important person, that's what this would be.
You know me, I am a fascist. So I love this movie's
thoughts
face
on
value politics.
Jay, thoughts on McDonagh in New York?
Oh yeah, let's go into that. That's what the people are demanding.
Might as well just do it.
Fascinating times. I wonder what Verhoeven thinks about it. Is really what I want to know.
No, that's a non-answer right there. That's a political answer right there. Not even answering about the guy on topic. He literally just sidestepped that and went into positivity mode. Like, look at him.
Have a job. There's some stuff that I just don't want to talk about.
He seems like a nice guy. He doesn't.
I work for a Fortune 500 company, so talking about him is very difficult.
I think talking about any politician is difficult, wouldn't you say?
True. Let's talk.
Do you want to talk about the right? You know what I mean?
Let's talk Nixon. Let's talk about it.
Well,
good, bad, indifferent.
We're just going to move on from that. We don't need to talk about Nixon. Probably should get that sweaty lip taken a look at. Didn't you think? If you lost an election because your lip was sweaty,
he's a good guy though.
That's pretty rough.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't let him stay over at my house. He's going to look at the mail in the middle of the night. So,
but yeah, Mom Donnie very connected to the film world as well, Ryan.
Yeah, that's what Myra Neer, her is his mother, and a director I would love to do one of these days. I think she's got wonderful films, and then she's got one or two. You're like, oh, it's a little bit,
honestly, it's kind of a hard series to do.
A little bit of her career towards like the modern recently is a little bit like of the Carl Franklin kind of flavor of a director that had a lot of really interesting things and then has sadly been put into
but she never
had
the hits.
No, but no, Carl Franklin didn't have the hits. Those movies aren't the hits.
No,
they are acclaimed now because of Criterion, which is a lot of like her films with like Monsoon Wedding and Mississippi Masala. She had The Namesake, which is probably her most famous film for people that she had like Vanity Fair, which I guess was the Reese Witherspoon film. Anyway, it's beside the point. Maybe we'll do that series down the road. She has a fascinating career. But we're
forget how low the gross of Devil in a Blue Dress was.
Yeah,
granted. I believe Nayir's highest grossing movie is under $10 million. But
That's still more than Devil in Blue Dress, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
Devil in Blue Dress was 22 million.
Really? Wow.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, I didn't mean to underestimate Carl Franklin, and I apologize to Mr. Franklin out there. Jay, we're going into battle to talk about Starship Troopers.
Kill them all.
We're not alone, though. We need someone to maybe
We need another
join.
member for the Roughnecks.
We need somebody to join with us. And our guest
We need another citizen.
is our good friend and fellow AwardsWatch contributor, Trace Sauveur. Trace, welcome back,
Hello.
buddy.
Hi, thank you. I'm happy to.
You happy to enlist?
Yeah, I'm happy to enlist to be joining the citizenry, and have the right to vote and have children. But more than anything, fight those damn bugs that
Yeah.
need to be killed.
I had the bug guy come here today, actually. This is not a joke. This is not a bit. Like
You're just like the characters in Starship Troopers.
You're doing
Listen,
your part.
when you own a house, you need a spray for bugs. All right?
Arachnids.
And I had a couple of, hornets' nests outside, and I needed to get rid of them. And sure enough, he did it. And those suckers are dead. So
You said there's enough Phil Tippett influence around my house.
exactly.
We need
And
to restrict this.
And you know what I did? I did my part. Thank you very much. So
Thank God. Thank God someone did.
thank God somebody did it around here, because
These loony leftists aren't going to kill the bugs.
listen, I've just been carrying this country on my back. All right. And I just would appreciate it if somebody stepped up their game.
It is cool. I mean, the one thing we can say about this movie is at least like the commentary that it was doing. It's been resolved. It's interesting that it's no longer relevant. Which it does make it a little more difficult to talk
It's a
about.
little dated, don't you think, Jay?
Yeah, it's kind of like Starship Troopers solved it.
It
Yeah.
feels a little. It feels a little overblown. Feels a little fear-mongery about a future that may have come to pass. Which we
Thankfully
it was
didn't.
never really gonna happen.
Woo! Oh my God. Peace around the world. Everyone's calm. Yeah, it is a fascinating film to talk about, given everything that's going on in the world.
Paul
in our
Verhoeven, greatest
country.
American cultural satirist of all time.
And he's not even an American.
Not
which
a
I mean,
According to
I think
critics,
that's
I'm not doing
part of it.
I know.
Also, growing up in Nazi, Holland.
Yeah, I mean, look at the outfits in this movie. That'll tell you everything you need to know.
What you think those are? Okay, interesting. I never really, I didn't. Catch
You never
that.
really picked up on that, buddy?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
What do you think of the how shoulders looked in this movies?
You know what's crazy is that people when this movie came out were like, Paul Verhoeven is a literal Nazi.
They were like, I'm taking this at face value. This is a fascist movie.
Wait, that's what they picked up on this? Is that he's the problem?
Yeah, they said like this was made by two Nazis, Ed Neumeyer and Paul Verhoeven.
I mean, of course, that would be totally what people picked up on. And
So whenever people
not
are
actually
like,
the problems with the system in which
whenever
they're trying to
people,
portray.
whenever people say media literacy is at an all-time low, it's kind of always been this bad.
Yeah, I remember
So,
when we're always just like, oh man,
that's what
these people at
critics said.
the people at the trades and the critics of the old, they use how it used to be. It's kind of like with like basketball players, when they're like, our game used to be great, and it's like, I don't think so. Like, you guys are.
That's why now we have to make baby brain movies like Jojo Rabbit.
Exactly.
Jesus
I've been saying.
God, is that the worst satire of the last 25 years?
I'm sure there's probably something you could say is worse.
Trace can probably help us out.
What about
here before
Vice?
I was gonna say, like, Jay, you have been using effectively your theory that Paul Verhoeven is the greatest American satirist.
The greatest satirist of American culture.
Okay.
Of my lifetime.
But just basically, you could just say satirist in general, really, as well, too, because he's one of the best at it.
Sure.
And so, and now we don't see movies like this anymore.
I just don't know much. Maybe some guy in, France is absolutely killing it. I just can't speak to that.
Okay.
Right?
But you're saying he's one of. You're not saying he is the definitive, but
I'm saying of American culture.
Okay. So the question is, probably the last 25 years since a movie like that, this movie is over that, but let's go with 25 years because we've just done the exercise on the website. Best films of the last 25 years. What is the best political, social satire?
The last 25
American,
years.
yeah. Like, what is that? Who is doing that?
I mean, in the Loop is up there off the top of my head.
That's good.
I would have to think about it. I'm bad at pulling movies from
Burn
memory
After
like this
Reading is the answer,
sometimes.
actually. That's
Oh,
the
actually,
answer.
that is the answer.
That's
Yeah,
my
it's
answer.
absolutely
Yeah,
Burn After
it's
Reading.
Burn After Reading.
Okay.
I just wrote a little bit about Burn After Reading for somewhere. So yeah, and so yeah, I mean that movie's fucking incredible.
That's good.
That's my answer.
That's your answer. All right. Knock it in.
Yeah, I might have to agree. I might keep thinking and like blurt out another answer at some point in the
Well,
podcast.
it's
But
Don't Look Up. Like clearly, like that's playing out
I
right
would
now.
when I was trying to think of worst satires, that was the first one that came to
That is
mind.
the first one. That's the
El-
literal worst.
Election was 99, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think that movie's pretty great too.
Yeah.
Head of State.
Head of
course.
State. Yeah. Head of State. The Chris Rock movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just like even like one of the problems I had with
I still love Team America. I can't.
I think
can't
Team
quit
America
Team
is I think Team America is right up there. Just because I think like right at 99, South Park the South Park movie is actually really great because it's talking about freedom of speech and
movie I never
censorship.
saw Four Lions, which some people swear by.
I've never seen that either.
Have not seen it.
I could make an argument for Tar being a satire.
Yeah.
It's certainly it's yes, it's certainly a satire in a lot of ways. Is it
Laugh
a
out
satire
loud.
in the same way that Burn After Reading is a satire? Not
No.
really.
Mm-mm.
It's just not a farce.
Yeah.
Burn After Reading's full gaggy farce.
Yeah.
You said-
God, Don't Look Up is 2 hours and 25 minutes. I forgot that.
Yeah. Adam McKay makes you sit with him.
I'll tell
He
well,
sure does.
I mean, it wouldn't be American, but I guess like a commentary. It wouldn't be a satire. I guess but you could probably throw in like Okja or anything that Bong Joon Ho's been kind of doing.
Sure.
Like you can even throw in Parasite if you
I
want
mean,
to.
Parasite is absolutely that.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
there's the glut of like Eat the Rich satires that always come out
Yeah.
now that have gotten a little bit tired and obvious.
Oh, like
Yeah.
Triangle of Sadness.
Yeah, stuff like that. The Menu.
Menu.
So, yeah. And
Yeah.
anything like that kind of falls in. But, those, I wouldn't, obviously, we were talking about the best, and I would not classify any of those as the best necessarily.
Would Tropic Thunder count?
I'd say so.
Right?
It's definitely a satire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Satire,
it's not
yeah.
a political satire.
No,
Yeah.
but it is about it is a satire indeed. I think that movie's
Indeed,
really
absolutely,
is really
Indeed.
it's really aged well, I think.
The
there's-
Tropic Thunder, I actually think is a good movie, and
Yeah.
that very controversial thing about it, I think, is
silly.
effective. And
Yeah, I think it's the point.
yeah,
What that's what Robert Downey Jr.'s character is essentially like.
yeah.
that's-
I mean,
that's
the
the
point. I
point.
mean, that's the kind of the whole point of satire.
Am I the only one that thinks a less Grossman movie is a terrible idea? Like, why are we talking about that like has potential?
Oh, are they
He's-
talking about doing that?
Yeah, he's like Cruz is obsessed with
Okay.
talking about this
All
right
right.
now.
Okay.
My question is, who would make it? Cruz,
I don't-
Macquarie? That would be
Yeah,
terrible.
it'd probably be
Cruise
Macquarie.
and McQuarrie. Let's
That would be like, because when I think of funny, I think of those two fuckers. You know what I mean? Like, no, like I think it would be a terrible idea.
Did y'all like the new
Mission?
Mission Impossible?
I have fun. with it,
So
but
okay,
what's-
so like the first I thought all the table setting was super needless and exhausting, but once it got to the good shit, I was like, okay, like this is what I want. It just like it took way too long.
That
to start
first
having
hour
any fun
is
for me.
tough.
Yeah, I was really holding on for dear life for during some of the exposition setup.
Yeah,
for me,
I agree. The submarine and the airplane stuff, though.
Oh my gosh, I was like running around the theater with
It
during the
doesn't get-
airplane.
it
I was like, oh
doesn't
my
get better.
gosh, this is
Yeah.
fucking
I think the airplane
crazy.
stuff's great. Controversial. I thought the submarine stuff was kind of sleepy and boring, but that's just.
Oh,
me.
I love the submarine stuff.
but
I loved it.
the exposition everybody's been complaining about. I'm sorry, but
No, it stinks, dude.
you know what? You can't then have given the last film a pass and not have
I didn't
expected.
give the last film a pass.
I told you.
I actually
Jay,
do give the last film a pass. Last
Jay,
films were fun.
I told you what these storyline was, and I nailed it.
AI villain is a problem in my.
I
opinion.
know what the storyline was, and I could see it coming a mile away when I watched Dead Reckoning again before this, and I was like, oh, this is Matrix
Formerly known as
Reloaded.
Dead Reckoning Part 1.
This is Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions. And if
I explain.
because it's all like, I think that Macquarie had a perfect first two run. But then you have this movie where everything, like there is so much exposition inside and explaining of what the entity
Matrix Reloaded rocks.
in the Matrix Reload. Well, of course, but then there's also great sequences in these mission films, and wrapped around it are a lot of conversations that lead to essentially a final battle that gets resolved in a way that doesn't really make sense for a lot of people, but I give it pass because all the spectacle around it is great.
I remember like nothing about Dead Reckoning.
I really like we rewatched all of them.
Well, they killed the most important person, Jay.
They did, yeah. And I'm a little bitter about that.
You don't have to tell me.
Well, you didn't remember. Well, you said I didn't remember anything, and now you're just saying you remember.
I visited her place of death, right?
That's right.
God.
You did take a
respects.
photo of that bridge and send it to me when you went on your Italy trip.
I laid a rose down and I said, "This is where the biggest crime."
And that's where
Cinema
his wife looked at him and said, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
I like Dead Reckoning. I think it's a fun movie. I like that it still has like a, I don't know, just kind of sense of like globetrotting fun to it. Whereas like Final Reckoning, it just gets so solemn in the middle of it. I was like, I wish this was like,
yeah.
It's so
somber.
self-serious. It's like it's trying so hard to like strain for a very great sense of importance and like, I don't know, finality to the whole franchise.
And also like a reflection on how important Mission Impossible as an entity.
Yeah. And I was
The
just
tie-ins to the first film.
Not intended.
Yeah, I think all the tie-ins were the things that drove me rough.
Yeah, it was stupid.
And like the whole time I was just like, as the last Mission Impossible movie, I just kind of want this to be another fun Mission Impossible movie. I just kind of want them to
But
go.
then it's also winked that it's not. Like that's the thing. That's like, if this is the end, you sure did a terrible job of like at the end being like, we could be back for more if you like this or not. But because
strange ending.
Well, it's because the reason why they're calling this is the last one.
We can run it back if we want to.
Well, they're not going to.
We don't have to.
They're not going to be able to.
The year was 1997. And
also, I like
Starship
the end
Troopers.
I'm sorry. I like the end of Final Reckoning where it's like all the crossfades of Tom Cruise standing on the hillside, listening to Luther's message. It's like the exaltation of Tom Cruise as a man.
Oh my God!
Standing there against
I mean, between that stuff, the flashbacks, the number of flashbacks,
the flashback cutting, editing, and
oh my God!
I actually had more of a problem with that than the exposition, to be fair. But Jay, I will say the one thing about these Mission Impossible films, and then we can start talking about Starship Troopers. Is I think the fundamental problem with these last two is Haley Atwell and the existence of her character, because
the one part where them trying to convince me that she is like one of them and that she has such a rich history with them is hysterical.
Because I think that character, what they wrote, I actually think it's what they would have wrote for Rebecca Ferguson, which would have made sense. But she didn't want to make it. She didn't want to make those movies anymore because they were like
huge respect, Rebecca Ferguson.
I mean, very huge respect.
She
but
wanted
also
to make
like
Silo. Get out there.
She wanted to make Dune movies, which is
she
like
wanted to make Silo.
Well, that too. Probably.
Honestly, she's been working longer on Silo than Dune.
So
she wasn't in Dune that much.
Well, yeah, but she has to still film those films and going back and forth between Dune and
Mission, Final Reckoning has been in production / post-production for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, but it's also been they were still filming stuff last year and everything because of the strikes.
There's a new cut that just
but
came
Jay,
out.
She got to
a week ago.
She got out and now she's going to be in the new Catherine Bigelow film. So that's the other thing.
That sounds great. Look, you do not have to tell me about the goings on of Rebecca Ferguson.
Jay knows.
I sent some photos the other day of a photo shoot of Rebecca Ferguson to Jay, and I think I might have broken his entire phone.
I lost a half day of work productivity.
He's not going to get that time back with his child.
No,
that's for sure. The year was 1997.
Yes,
Trace was born.
Year of our Lord.
Trace was born 1997.
Trace was born.
Wow, a star was born, as they say.
Starship Troopers and Trace were brought into the world in 1997.
Wow,
a huge year.
A huge year. One we'll never forget on this show. Trace, Paul Verhoeven. I've asked you to come and be on this show.
Yep.
And talk about the films of Paul Verhoeven, specifically this one. Buddy, what do you like about him? What don't you like about him? Do you know much about him?
Yeah.
Do you care for the man or not?
I do care for the man. I've mostly seen his major movies. Some of the kind of his
not his lieutenant movies, his major movies.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the more niche stuff he's made that maybe has more of a cult
You're not a full
following.
citizen yet.
That's right. Yeah, not in the. I'm not
Yeah.
fully engrossed in the Paul Verhoeven verse, but I would like classify RoboCop as like an absolute classic, like 5-star masterpiece movie. Total Recall also like obviously great, like just a great piece of sci-fi pulp. And then I love Basic Instinct. I really enjoy Showgirls and Benedetta too. But past that, I haven't
Not
seen anything
Benedetta
else of his.
1, Benedetta 2.
Yeah,
Haven't gotten
Benedetta
around
2,
to
the sequel.
Spedders.
No, I
Spedders.
actually that's on my. I was looking at that the other day recently because it's like on my watch list. So I need to check that one out because I know it has good.
So it's a
I've seen
weird
the word
one.
mouth about it. I see people that like it, so I'm interested to see it.
Those people are perverts.
I I think I do follow a lot of
I think
people.
I think it's a good film. So mask off.
I need to, yeah, I'll check it out. But anyway, I generally from the movies I've seen from Verhoeven, I have nothing but positive feelings generally, especially since the ones I've seen usually are focused on pretty biting satire of American culture, or just like really cool like practical effects driven sci-fi stuff, like Total Recall, or just like manic, weird, kind of crazy out there projects that of course have come to be more appreciated with time, like Showgirls. And yeah, I generally enjoy Verhoeven.
Did you say you have or have not seen Showgirls?
I have seen Showgirls.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I was lucky enough to see that for the first time on a 35 millimeter print in theaters, which was
Ooh.
probably it was very
That's
good.
the way to watch it. However, at a screening like that, what was that like a rowdy screening or
No, it was just a showing.
were people laughing too much though?
Honestly, no, it was like a pretty.
That's the great problem with rep screenings.
It was. I felt like it was a good crowd at that
Do
screening.
you
Actually,
think
like
that's the great problem with rep screenings?
What other problems are there?
I don't. I mean,
I think that is the biggest problem. Is
What,
that
people being
try to be
assholes?
smarter than older movies.
yeah,
Yeah.
people
Oh,
like
okay.
taking older movies like ironically, basically, and
Yeah.
not.
Oh, see, like I don't know. Maybe this is just where. I mean, maybe this is an Atlanta problem with you boys, but down here,
I think that's a pretty common complaint.
I don't know. I just okay. I just went and saw There'll Be Blood with a packed house at the Paramount in Austin, and that was a bunch of just sickos laughing at the exact
See,
things you need to laugh
this is,
at.
This is your problem. I think that movie is less of a comedy than you do.
Trace, do you think There'll Be Blood is a comedy?
I think there's funny stuff in it.
There's a lot of
and
funny
There's
shit.
funny stuff
there-
in it.
There is stuff I laugh at. There are elements of it that kind of dip into dark comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It depends. I would have to.
That movie is a
screening, but-
deeply funny movie. Like I
You
laugh
think it's like
so much at that movie.
Scary movie.
Yeah, I've been around with that movie a long time. I'll probably laugh at that more than a lot of comedies that come out this year. You know, I was.
You think it's
kinda
like
get it.
pop star,
Howling.
never stop
to
it.
the same degree, like I think, like I laugh at Tar so hard,
Yeah.
and like that movie.
No,
not a
Tar.
traditional comedy.
The ending of Tar is truly one of the funniest.
But, like, when
moments
he's-
of the last decade.
There are line
I agree.
deliveries though that he gives, and because he's so serious, and maybe this is like this
Well,
is
that's
why,
what Paul. That's what PTA said when he was what after the movie. He was like, the funniest thing to me is when someone takes something like unbelievably seriously.
Yeah, and like some of that, like when he's doing the whole, I'm a false prophet, God's a superstition, and then he's yelling and screaming, and then the cut to him, those areas have been drilled. I just laugh my ass
That's
off
funny.
because shit like that's funny.
I feel like at rep
Maybe not to the
screenings-
common person, but to somebody that's just I
Just
don't
like
know,
an
wants-
enlightened person like Ryan.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely like
fancy with my pinky up, buddy.
I've had hit and miss experiences at rep screenings, especially if it's something that's particularly like asking you to take it like in a particularly earnest fashion, and people are trying to get ahead of
Yes,
it and not
that is
embrace it.
when things go
And the-
awry.
And then also if it's like a particularly like kind of out there or strange movie, or a movie that kind of asks you to be along for the ride in a way that makes people uncomfortable. I saw Possession and Inland Empire in theaters, and those were both kind of interesting experiences watching
Do
how
you
the
like
crowd
people
reacted.
people like trying to like make something more scandalous than it needs to be for
Just
a movie
like-
like that?
I
Because
feel
it's
like
Lynch.
I imagine Inland Empire was a stone cold silent screening. But
Like
the-
there's
like-
not much you can really say because like you're all probably trying to still, even if you've seen
Well,
it 4 or 5 times, you're processing still what the
but the thing
fuck's
is, it's like
going on.
it's such an uncomfortable movie to watch and such a
Yeah.
strange movie to try to be on the wavelength of that people kind of like reject that sometimes and kind of start to
Yeah.
react to it in like a funny way, basically, and start laughing at it.
Oh, sure.
Is what ends up
Well,
happening.
you can't do it with that one. You know what I
Right.
mean, like, there's
Where
no,
you're like,
I get what you're
I
saying.
am better than this movie.
Yeah.
that's yeah.
that happens.
Yeah.
But then no, I mean,
That
I've
happens
been
all the time.
Yeah.
I remember the worst, and this wasn't. It was like a quasi rep screening. It was a few months after. It was a re-release of RRR, basically.
Oh, fuck
which I think is a
that.
very sincere movie.
Gross.
Obviously, it is funny too. It's one of those movies where it's like kind of so over the top that it's funny, but it's
Yeah.
not like there was a woman there who just, I mean, every 15 seconds, it was unbearable.
She was screaming for those folks that didn't
just
pick it up on the mic.
cracking up. Just yeah. It was like, you're my best friend. Ah! Like friends, like male friends. Come on, man. Yeah, it can be tough.
To take this back to me seeing Showgirls in theaters, the crowd at Showgirls was actually pretty respectful of the movie, so it was a good
Okay.
experience.
Well, okay. Well, then there you go.
They were laughing at it because there's stuff in it that's so over the top.
There
it
is
is
plenty
funny,
of stuff that's
but,
funny in it. Yeah.
Question: Do you guys,
Intentionally and unintentionally.
Trace? Do you? Maybe this is just me. Do you laugh at like certain seriousness inside of like No Country for Old Men?
Yeah,
I've told Jay I laugh a lot during that movie too.
I laugh during No Country for Old Men. For
like
sure.
when he's like literally the coin
Coen
flips.
brothers.
Yeah, I know that,
And I
but like
understand
that's
that movie is like
that's
dark,
their
very
most
dark.
yeah, that's the most serious film. But I still laugh a lot at that movie because
Yeah, there's definitely stuff in
that
it that
old
I laugh
Texas
at.
humor kind
I
of
guess it
was
is.
dripped in it. Yeah, and the McCarthy stuff. But then like also too like the scene with the coin flip, the infamous coin flip scene. I think that some of that
No, it's
some of
funny,
that dialogue stuff is just so funny.
Well, I gotta know what I'm playing for.
You married into it. Like when he chokes on the peanuts and he's like, you married into it, you know? Well, why would you come back then? We'll be closed then. Like there's some good stuff in there.
And
so.
like especially for a movie like No Country for Old Men, I mean that is like so fueled by like that very I don't even know how you describe it in this particular moment, but that very specific like Cohen perspective of I don't know, just like a dry kind of consequential view of the world. And
I
like,
just always laugh at PTA
very
movies. Like I think he's like a dark. He's got a darkly witty
He's
side to him.
very funny.
Jay, do you
laugh
All of
during
his
The
movies
Master?
are funny. I laugh a lot during The Master.
Yeah.
I think The Master is probably funnier than There Will Be Blood.
I think Phantom Thread's a hoot.
Yeah,
Phantom Thread is like a straight up that's verging on a pure.
I remember when that movie came out, he did like a Twitter Q&A, and someone asked him when he was going to make another comedy, and he replied and said, I did. It's out in theaters right now." Like, you can see it.
Oh my god.
He's
Well,
a funny guy. I'm very interested to see the new one. It looks like it has a message for sure.
I've
but
heard.
It
I've
also
heard,
looks it looks very inherent vice.
I know
It
some. I
definitely
know some people that have seen it, and all I'll say is
They say it's
that
terrible.
no, they say it's really good. They say it's very funny, and that it's more Magnolia than it is Inherent Vice.
Wow. I read the book. I read Vineland, and it kind of
Yeah.
I appreciated it. It lost me a little bit. I get that is Thomas Pynchon's whole
Pynchon, not
that's
really
his
my
thing.
bag. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
I get his thing. It's not really my thing. Although I love the movie Inherent Vice.
I think
I
he's
do
going to
as
do
well.
some. I think he's going to do something different with it, though. I don't think it's just going to be like take it.
Yeah, I mean, it has a whole new
From the-
name. It's
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's like I think it's mostly loosely inspired by Vineland from what I understand.
I'm excited because it's my guy. And
it
Jay,
it also seems to be. I mean,
Really
an
topical.
incredibly personal.
yeah,
movie.
it does seem like that too. So,
yeah.
I'm about to understand the contours of PTA's brain.
oh, man. Jay,
His
we get
relationship with his kids, man.
and all you
Yes.
listeners out there, yes, we will be doing a director watch episode on One Battle After Another.
Okay,
Whoa.
this is breaking news to me.
Well, we have to. We did the series, and it's a new
That's-
release from one of our directors.
There
One
are,
battle.
there are yeah,
One battle
after another.
One
Yeah,
battle
you
after
got
another. Are we talking about the freaking troops and Starship Troopers?
Oh my God!
Oh,
Here we
man.
go. This
the
guy.
year was
This guy.
1997.
The year was 1997. Jay,
We were 1 year removed from the Atlanta Olympics.
how did those go?
Richard Jewell saved the day.
A flawless production. Nothing bad happened.
Olivia Wilde lost another job.
I went there.
You went there?
I was there. Me
You
and
did the
Richard,
Macarena with them in the crowd?
Did you see
me-
Richard Jewell?
I saw Richard Jewell. He held me in his
He's
arms.
dead now, right?
Oh my
He did
God.
pass away recently, I believe.
Holy shit. Trace. God damn it.
Oh
Well,
man. What did
well.
he die of? Oh, yeah, diabetes. Okay,
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
You're spoiling Richard Jewell too.
Yeah.
It was he died in 2007, so
Just keep jeweling.
didn't
Yeah.
even
Oh, he
get to
died that
see-
long ago?
He didn't get to see The Dark Knight.
Oh my God.
He would have loved it, man.
Wait, what
would
year
have
did he die?
absolutely loved it.
2007.
Oh man. Maybe he watched There Will Be Blood and he was like, I can't do this anymore. It's not funny enough, you know?
I wish it was funnier.
Jesus. Yeah. And Jay's worried about his job and then we're making these jokes. Good Lord. Anyway.
Richard Jewell showed up to the theater to see There Will Be Blood, and he was like, "There's a bomb."
You think like Richard Jewell, he was like, call it, friendo. And like they flipped the coin. Anyway.
I'm trying to see which movies came out the week of Richard Jewell's death.
What week did he die?
August 26th,
Okay, so he didn't see
2000.
He didn't see Michael Clayton.
Oh,
he
man.
didn't see Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford.
Oh my
August,
gosh.
July,
He didn't see most of the fall films. He didn't see Juno.
August.
He didn't get to see
This is
Atonement.
when
This is really insensitive. This is-
Superbad came out like right.
Oh,
He
It could
missed
have been fun
Superbad.
for him.
he missed
You guys seen
Superbad.
it?
No, he got Superbad.
Oh, he got
Okay, so
Superbad.
he
could have
saw
seen
Superbad.
Superbad.
He worked actually at an AMC and had an AMC Plus before all of us. To be fair, he got to see
That would have
everything.
been the last like really big High School Musical 2.
Oh, well, he was
Okay.
he's a big Efron guy.
All right. All
You
right.
know, he had stock in Corbin Blue.
Hot Rod.
Hot Rod.
had just come
Oh,
out.
well, that's got to be like a geographically
Born Ultimatum. He could have
specific-
finished the trilogy.
He could have finished the trilogy,
Honestly, fortunate for him, never had to see Jason Bourne.
Oh man.
or the Bourne was at the Bourne Legacy. Ooh.
Yeah.
He
You know,
missed.
I love Tony Gilroy, but we skirt past that one a lot when we
Tell
talk
you a
about
movie
his-
I haven't
his
thought
stuff.
about in a while.
What?
Who's Your Caddy? Remember that one? Big Boy?
Oh boy, indeed.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That might have been the last movie Richard Jewell saw in a theater.
He also missed Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Jason Lee.
Well, that means he missed Alvin and the Chipmunks the Squeakquel.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
Oh man.
What if his last movie was the Werner Herzog movie Rescue Dawn? That would have been interesting.
Holy
Jesus.
shit.
Yeah. Well,
First Transformers had just come out. That was probably Richard Jewell's last movie, let's be honest.
What do you think?
Actually, it was right around that time. So
what do you think his go-to snack at the theater was? We'll never know. Probably shouldn't had any of those.
We'll
to
never
be
know.
fair.
I would love if he came on the pod though.
Like in a
you got the
hologram.
ghost of Richard Jewell.
Hypothetically, I think
The
it would
year
be a
was
good podcast.
1997, for Christ's sake. Jay, could you please talk about?
I'm trying to keep you guys on track. Man.
I know you're not. You brought this shit up. You're pulling up
trying to
dates.
keep you guys.
I
are
think I
going-
brought up Richard Jewell.
you guys are
Yeah,
going
that's
nuts.
fair, Trace.
That was my bad.
I just
No,
want to
it was,
blame
it was
him.
me that brought up the Atlanta Olympics, and then Trace took it to the next level.
Yeah,
and
and then
you,
now
you-
we've taken it to the limits.
You give me an inch, I'll take a mile, brother.
Starship Troopers. Jay, I'm gonna let you go first on this one, buddy.
Okay.
I know you kind of just put all your chips in the middle of the table. You said that this is your
Yeah.
favorite Verhoeven. So talk a little bit about why you love this movie so much.
Yeah, I love this movie in part because I do feel like it is Paul Verhoeven tricking everyone into making a movie that they don't understand that they're in. I love that about it. And it is the imagery and ideas are oftentimes so incredibly on the nose that they loop back around to being like exactly what people thought about it at the time, which is he endorsing this? It's they're literally wearing like gray SS uniforms. What is going on here? But then he's doing it in the context of this 1990s kind of teen soap production, which I think really plays to that modern sensibility and honestly a traditional sensibility in the same way that RoboCop was an action movie that people could embrace on its face. This is again Ed Neumeyer and Paul Verhoeven teaming up. I mean, you have the interstitial propaganda films and things like that. It's very much, indebted to Nazi propaganda movies, which Verhoeven has stated very directly. But it is just putting the mirror up to American film viewers, film goers, and essentially saying, hey, this isn't that different from the stuff that you're watching all the time, right? Like you're getting inundated with these ideas. This isn't that different than Star Wars, and what you're consuming is this way of normalizing fascistic, militaristic, I mean, good Lord, you guys say the Pledge of Allegiance every day in elementary school, right? And it's that to the nth degree, and it does dare you to confront that because of how aggressively on the nose it is. It is daring you to deal with these things that it is screaming in your face, right? It is not saying you cannot twist this around if you give it an ounce of scrutiny into saying, this is a movie about heroes fighting the objective villains, right? This is in the same way that Sam Peckinpah's Cross of Iron was a movie that challenged to make Nazis the protagonist of a film. This is doing the exact same thing, but quasi hiding it and giving it a more traditional kind of narrative skeleton. And I just think it's such a brilliant work of combative, difficult filmmaking from a guy who grew up in a Nazi occupied country. And I think somebody who grew up in that situation is sort of the only person who could make a movie this powerful. And also a guy who was just like, he became weirdly obsessed with not comics as a fan, but American comic books as an idea and a tool for inundation. And so he cast a bunch of people who look like comic book characters and who look like they should be on 90210. Casper Van Dien looks like an action figure more than anyone has ever looked like an action
looks
figure
like Stretch
in
Armstrong.
history. He looks he's got the best jaw in the biz.
Yep.
And so I just think it's a potent, acidic, wonderful film that I still think people might misinterpret to a certain degree. And
do you
the fact
think
that
that
it has a bunch of sequels?
I was going to say, do you think the sequels
that.
watered it down a bit in terms of its?
Well, I have not seen them. I did want to watch them. I mean,
you will.
I will at some point. I actually,
you watched Basic. He watched Basic Instinct too. He didn't watch.
I saw y'all log that, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, Ed Neumeyer directed one of them. Phil Tippett directed one of them. It's like that. Those are interesting objects, given that those people directed those movies. But I think the only other movie that Phil Tippett has directed is that. What was the movie a couple of years ago? The God. It wasn't Wrath of God. The Mad God.
What was it called?
Mad God.
Yeah. Which was a crazy good movie, I thought. But he directed Starship Troopers 2. So he had an attachment to the franchise.
All right, so we do that one, and we do Mad God, and that's a
I'd
new
be
series.
Interested to watch them. Apparently, Starship Troopers 2 is quite bad. Is its reputation, but I would love to watch them, and I do remember the existence of the animated shows. It's become a weird enterprise, and especially given what this movie is about, that's bananas. Yeah. But the same thing with all of Verhoeven stuff. He was a franchise maker, man. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Trace, thoughts on Starship Troopers?
Yeah, no, I honestly feel like Jay kind of summed it up in much more eloquently than I ever could, honestly. I will say I initially saw this movie because a friend showed it to me in middle school. And, at that point, the satire was far too hidden from me to understand anything about this other than it just being kind of a, 90s sci-fi spectacle movie where guys are killing a bunch of bugs, basically.
Schlock,
yeah, basically, which was like cool, but also I was like, okay, cool. And I hadn't seen it since then, but I had kind of grown to understand its reputation and see other Verhoeven movies in the meantime, since I grew up and started watching other movies as well. And kind of to your point, Jay, I was surprised by how much it does operate as pure schlock still, basically, and how much it does kind of as much as we can make fun of the critics at the time for getting it so incredibly wrong and being so obtuse in how they kind of
Hmm.
decimated this movie for taking it completely at face value in terms of thinking it kind of harbored fetishistic themes about authoritarianism and militarism and fascism, and kind of just taking that as the ideology that the movie was propagating. It does kind of hide it in there a little bit, because it kind of complicates it a little bit with like being a genuine blockbuster spectacle. I mean, first of all, it's like pretty long. It's over 2 hours long, and
Hmm.
during that runtime, it
It's a
asks
long
you,
boy. Yeah.
yeah, it has a kind of involved plot where it kind of asks you on some level to sympathize with its core cast. That kind of like complicates this being like just bare bones parody or anything. It kind of like it kind of makes you know that you're like watching what I kind of view essentially as kind of like a comedic tragedy, basically, where like these kids who are indoctrinated into this regime just don't realize that they should be fighting against it, and instead kind of go on to perpetuate that cycle as soon as it's over. And that cycle, of course, like representing so many things that have going on in our world right now that have happened since this movie came out. It kind of like,
Don't know what you're talking about.
no, I mean, who knows? There's no war on terror. There's no,
What?
there's no genocide in Gaza. There's none of that's ever happened.
Not touching any of that because I don't know what you're talking
I
To
don't
be
about.
know,
clear, this
but
was
yeah,
recorded July 1st, 2025. It might all be fixed by the time this comes out.
actually, I have an idea that's going to fix all of it, and y'all are going to be amazed.
We're not, no. We do not condone here at a director watch anything that Trace Sauveur actually has to say about fixing the United States of America. Continue.
But so yeah, I mean, all that said, I think this is pretty much what Jay said already. This is a great piece of very biting satire from the only guy that could ever make this kind of thing. That also doubles as just like a great piece of 90s sci-fi action cool shit that you kind of get to indulge in while kind of having that tricky bit in the back of your mind, like knowing what you're watching and what it represents basically. And kind of it feels like at the time it definitely didn't get its due to the critical reception, and also I think it kind of came out among a glut of other sci-fi movies that were of course more face value than what Starship Troopers was, but nonetheless this kind of got lost in kind of a miasma of other similarly genre program sort of things. And so it's good that it's gotten the reputation that it has now. It is very strange that it has kind of engendered a whole franchise. You guys were right. Because
This was
it's
a
just,
year after Independence Day,
yeah,
just
and
for context.
I was looking, and like The Fifth Element came out this year. Event Horizon came out this year. So just like other kind of like, like space sci-fi shit that just kind of got lost within.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I really enjoy Starship Troopers.
I like this movie a lot. I really do. Every time I watch it, I get a lot of what you both have said. It's it really does hit, I think, a little differently when you watch it with I know we've been joking and everything, but like there's so much going on in the world, and you just kind of see our continued just history kind of repeating itself over and over again. And Verhoeven, and you
I
kind
just
of
Googled Independence Day. Here's an article on Fox News called "Plan an Epic Independence Day Movie Marathon with
Jesus
these
Christ.
TVs
God damn it, Jay.
and projectors."
Shut up.
It's a TV recommendation article on FoxNews.com.
All
Anyway,
right. Well,
I
I'm
gotta
going
check
to
this out.
continue.
I'm going to need a
continue.
sidestep here for a second. Let me read that article.
TVs are
in full.
so cheap now.
Oh, for God's sakes! I'm going to
TVs are-
Continue.
These are really
Thank you.
affordable, actually.
Yeah, it's the only anti-inflationary.
Well, Trace
good.
is talking about getting an OLED.
Yeah.
I gotta get an OLED.
Yeah, he's got to get one. He's like obsessed with it. He's like, gotta get one.
I gotta get one. I gotta put
gotta
these
get one.
4K discs to use.
Supporting quality video images. Trace is doing his part.
There you go. I think the movie is extremely hilarious, deeply over the top, like most of the excess found, I think, inside of a Verhoeven film. This doing it in a much more, I mean, I think that this really does mirror a lot in the ways of the satire that he's using a lot in RoboCop, and doing it in such an effective way that, Jay, the tragedy of our lifetime was the thing I was thinking about the most when I was watching this, which was the Bush era in 9/11, and how this movie was 3 years before those events, and 6 years before the invasion into Iraq.
Are you implying
And
Verhoeven was involved in some way?
I'm not. No, Alex Jones. I'm not thinking that.
Okay, all right. I was just
But-
wondering.
but
I
what
think
I'm-
you were going down a
What I'm
weird-
saying
a
is
weird
that we
path there.
spent
The
10
road not taken.
we spent 10 years trying to make like the perfect film to speak about those issues in that time, and our history repeating itself in the military industrial complex, and everything. And like this movie, the pivotal moment that switches everything for these characters is the invasion of the enemy on their home planet to then go and eviscerate them off the face of the planet that they're from, and signing up without any thought process into what they're actually signing up for, other than
Because the government incentivizes enrollment.
Yeah.
exactly. And it's done at a time, and all these military moves are done at a time of vulnerability for the country and of the human race to be behind those that have been hit with tragedy. And the ones with tragedy is the one with so much access to weaponry to eviscerate one's enemy and the resources to do it. And then this invasion does not go the way that they want, leaving, but the film doesn't go nearly what I think a lot with, the Iraq War and a lot of films of wars like to do, which is look at sort of the aftermath. They're in a way where it goes one way where people are like, I don't want to be a part of this machine anymore, kind of push back. Blindly, these people are just so embedded and indoctrinated that they keep going back, and you see them like the scene where all the new enrollees come in and they're now the veterans. It hits kind of hard because they're just like, all right, well, we got to keep going. And they're part of the recruitment video at the end. And instead of them watching the recruitment video like they would be at the beginning, now they're part of it. And it's tragic. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like some of the cynicism that's found in a movie like Nashville. And so I was just thinking about a lot of different films with commentary, and I think Verhoeven nails the shit out of this thing. And it's also for a movie that comes out a year after Independence Day, it's schlocky, but it's fun, and it's
It is still
violent, but
weirdly fun.
It's like that's the thing. It's that thing of what we talked about with RoboCop, where it's like
demented movie.
if you want to have just the space, sort of journey and everything coming of age, I guess a coming of age story inside a space war film, you can have that, a sci-fi film if you want that. But if you actually really want to examine the things that they're talking about in this movie, it's a far richer experience for you. So yeah, I think it's one of his best, and I think it's one that sadly ages well because of the fact that we can't fucking help ourselves as a human race to continue to try to do
RoboCop is the same way, and that was a decade earlier. So this guy's got a handle on.
He's got the pulse to the world.
It's funny how like much of a Rorschach test Starship Troopers is, because it doesn't really explicitly tell you in the text like how any certain way to feel about what you're seeing on screen. It just kind of like delivers it to you. So,
but you can kind of feel though, Trace, that this is like obviously him pointing an eye strictly at the American military industrial complex more than anything else.
Absolutely. But this
is about Argentina.
Yeah, they're come on, they're more.
That's one of the best jokes in the movie is that they live in Buenos Aires. By the way,
I'm like, but also isn't that? But also just the yes, that is very fair as well too. Like this abundance of wealth from a place that's, but yet everybody is the whitest person on the planet. Like I think that's funny
because that's where all the Nazis.
Yes, exactly. I know.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
I just think it's a very brave choice.
Why do you know that, Jay? No, I'm just kidding.
Because I watched X-Men First Class.
There you go.
I just think it's a very ultimately kind of brave choice to make this movie in a way where, like, yeah, I mean, like if a right wing person or like a person that loves the military watches, they're just gonna see an awesome military killing bugs, basically. And I appreciate that Verhoeven doesn't like really he just trusts you to understand that what you're seeing is kind of fucked up, basically. And you know,
But he also puts them all in SS uniforms and
yeah,
puts, the
there are definitely
Nazi
there are definitely things that
1 inch away from the Nazi flag as their, flag.
there are definitely things that are more in your face than others. And obviously, like, you know, if you read anything that Verhoeven has to actually say about the movie, it's very crystal clear what he was trying to do. It's just interesting to me that it just is so indulgent while delivering on these messages. It's just it's an interesting way to approach this movie for me. And it's also just like I appreciate that he's directly rejecting the source material that it actually comes from,
Which he
or at least
hates.
yeah. Which is actually like a fascist novel, basically. And it's a funny idea that they decided to adapt this movie and totally undermine the entire ideology of the novel that it's adapting.
Well, we should probably speak to kind of the production of it because this was not originally intended to be a Starship Troopers adaptation. It was
Mm-mm.
the script was called Bug Hunt at Outpost 7.
God,
Not sure that would have made quite as much money.
Sounds really good.
But that was Neumeyer's
Should have kept it.
Sounds pretty good,
screenplay, and then somebody came to him, or he realized, oh, this has a lot in common with Starship Troopers. After the Bug Hunt at Outpost 7 was rejected several times, he was like, maybe if I attach this to IP, people will sort of understand it more and will be more enticed to make the film. And sure enough, that happened. And then they approached Verhoeven. Verhoeven read the novel, threw it in the garbage, the same way that he read the RoboCop script and threw it in the garbage. And his wife was like, this is kind of everything that you're about, man. Eventually, Verhoeven came around to this as, oh, this is ironic. And that's the Neumeier Verhoeven connection. And so it, ended up being this big studio movie. They pitched the movie as much as anything as a special effects, revolutionary special effects, where they showed them a clip of this bug eviscerating the cow, and they're like, "Whoa, this is incredibly impressive. Do whatever you want." And then he made Starship Troopers, which is insane, and studios were so much cooler back then, where they would just be like, this is awesome. Do what you want. We don't have, we don't have our audience demographics nailed down quite as hard as we do now. We're not doing the same kind of surveying, or the movies were not made by spreadsheets back then. I will say that, which is a better time.
For sure. I mean, that stuff with the bugs, like from the beginning.
I mean,
even
the
at the
special
end,
effects in this movie look so good.
They do look
They look
good.
amazing.
The probing of the bug at the end of the movie is genuinely terrifying. I will say, watching that,
And it's the wonderful intersection. It's like CGI is still sort of in its early age, and practical effects have never been better. And they have Phil Tippett, like the guy, right? And so that intersection, this is about as good as it kind of ever got with effects because of that combination. I've said that with Jurassic Park before, and it's kind of along those same lines. We're a few years after Jurassic Park, but it's the same kind of theory where it's that combination of those two, that intersection, which I think should still be the norm. But unfortunately, that is not the case. This movie has locations. It has practical violence. It has squibs. It has, all kinds of stuff, models. I love all that stuff. And it is combined with really, really good digital effects.
Yeah.
This is just reminiscent of when they actually made movies, basically.
Yeah, it's like a real movie. I loved movies.
You like movies, Jay?
I used to love them. I
You
used
listen-
to.
now
Back
you
when I
just
was
like-
6 years old.
Now you just like them.
And I saw Starship Troopers. Yeah. No, it's just the loss of practical effects. I'm a guy. Ronnie knows I'm a big Muppet guy. Like I love all
Jay,
that stuff.
did you see when they closed down the Muppet ride?
Look, Muppet Vision 3D did close recently. I
Did
was
you watch the
there.
videos? Did you see it?
about a year ago.
Yeah.
I did feel very lucky, but I think I talked about this on the podcast. I was in there and I was like, this is no one is reacting to this appropriately. I was having a
Mm.
whale of a time, and the audience just was not engaged. And I
Mm.
was like, the Muppet thing might be done. It
I
just
I
might
was
be over.
I was talking to the wife about this. I was like, I think this is going to be one of those things in the culture that disappears in the
Yeah.
next 10 to 15 years. Unless and
I
it'll
think
be
Disney helped give
yeah.
it a swift death. I will say,
I
but
think I think that they tried to do so many things within the last 10 years and they never knew what the fuck they were doing. They did the two movies. The one movie was very successful. The second one was not so much. They did like a variety show
did you
on
watch
ABC.
that? They tried to do like an office style sitcom.
Yeah, that was
That
just
was
rough.
tough.
It's
That was
just
tough.
I didn't even know this.
you know, the wife during Christmas we watched Muppet Christmas Carol, which is maybe one of the
It's great. I
greatest.
mean, that's even
greatest
post Jim
Christmas.
Henson. But the saddest part is that
You
Muppet
know,
Vision 3D was the last thing that Jim Henson worked
yeah,
on
and they shut it. But
before he died.
you know
But
who one of the Jay.
I love the Muppets. I don't blame them for shutting it down.
I don't
I
blame it
don't.
either. But Jay, you do know who the last person to walk out of that?
I saw it was Jim Henson's daughter,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. If that doesn't make you want to
that's
fucking
good
cry,
stuff.
that's
Good stuff. I did. I still,
that's tough.
man, I went there. I still loved it, man. I thought it was so
I
funny.
remember when I went a
I
couple
thought it
years
was
ago,
so
and I thought it was
Yeah,
great. Like, I mean,
it
like
was great.
that's that. But that's the stuff for our childhood.
I
Trace, I don't know
remember
if
the
the Muppets were big for you.
circumstances. Oh yeah, you a Muppet guy?
They weren't like a super big part of my childhood. I
God
feel
damn
like
it,
I like
Trace.
I
God
feel like
damn it.
I grew to appreciate them more like as I got older actually.
You got
So
to. They're
I
great.
remember the circumstances of me going to see that last year. My wife left her phone in the Uber, and so that was an absolute scramble. And then eventually we got in touch with the driver. She took my cell phone, and she didn't really have much interest in going to Muppet Vision. She would have gone if I wanted, if I, if I really wanted to, which I did. But she was like, "All right, I'm gonna go get the phone," and I was like, "I'm gonna go see Muppet Vision 3D by myself while you go get your phone." And then I just went in by myself, no wait, which was kind of sad. Not a very full theater, but I went in there. It's just a great time. Just a great show. It's a great show.
And now it will be a new
But
addition
that
to
is
the
a sense
Star
of
Wars
humor
world
that
or
people just
whatever shit.
don't get anymore.
Yeah. No, and it's the
Well,
same
no,
thing.
now
with
it's getting turned into a Monsters Inc. Experience of some variety.
oh, for God's sake.
So we'll see. Oh, I like Monsters Inc.
Oh, I know, but it's
Mike Sully,
yeah, but it's not the
Randall.
Muppets. It's not the Muppets though. You know,
when did they just start doing CGI Muppets? They're just gonna use the same characters but make them CGI.
Well, they have a Muppet Babies
Muppet
CGI
Baby-
show now.
Yeah, the TV show.
Yeah.
That's a
Now,
disgrace.
They tried to do like a Muppet Haunted Mansion thing a couple years ago, I think, on Disney Plus. It was okay. I love the Muppets.
It's just rough, man. You know?
It's tough, but it's also just a hard thing to do anymore.
Well, like Siegel and Stoller did the 2011 film, and I thought they did
that guy just loves the Muppets, and I felt that love in the movie. I liked that movie.
And then they were like, we don't really.
The second
wanna
one
do
was
the sequel.
okay.
Yeah, but like that was the thing. It's like it didn't make as much as the first one, so they just kind of gave up on it.
No.
And it's like, well, why don't you kind of do some stuff for this, and then they started doing stuff for the streaming platform. They didn't know what to do with it. And it's, it's kind of tough because like the other thing that, kind of feels like almost dead is from our childhood is Star Wars. Like that feels like it's so dead.
Yeah.
They can't do anything. And then like they tried to bring it back. They had they tried to do some of those films that didn't
You've
work.
watched all 12 TV shows they've done, surely.
I have not I haven't even gotten through Andor yet. I'm like,
I need to watch Andor. That's the one that I.
But everyone like loves it, and I'm like, okay, but like once this is done, are we going to go back to anything on the big screen? Are we just now going to have maybe the biggest intellectual property in the history of the world, of the history of cinema, just be a television thing? It's just so weird,
Here's a take. You ready for this take?
What, buddy?
Starship Troopers better than any Star Wars movie.
Okay, well, that's Jay. That's silly.
That is a take. That is a take. I don't know.
I think Empire has an argument, but I don't think it surpasses Starship Troopers.
This gets into an argument where they're just like,
I want to slap you a little bit for that. Like, just
they're
you know
obviously
better than this. You've
like
been no, hang on, Trace. You have been riding the line the last couple of weeks. You've been really starting to get on people's
I'm turning into a
nerves.
little. I'm
You're
the bad
getting
boy of podcast.
You're becoming a little bit of a stinker. You know better. You
smirking.
know better than that. That's a silly take.
This is better
know.
than any Star Wars. I honestly don't even think that's much of a question, but
that. It
This gets into a realm for me where it's like, I know they're both like, obviously
Smack you
space
later.
warfare movies. Obviously,
they're doing different things. I mean,
They're doing
entirely
different
They're
things.
just
movies.
fundamentally different movies. Like, I don't really know how
Yeah.
you compare them. Like, I don't really.
You know how you can compare them? Because that's how you podcast. What else? What else?
That's
What
what
else
gets
is
the clicks.
podcasting for?
you
than
and your
bringing out hot takes.
Jesus, no.
I'm the
I don't-
Stephen A. Smith of podcasting.
Oh my God,
That's what I'm trying to be.
So you're going to
gosh.
become extremely annoying, and people are going to hate you by the end of this
and I'm
series.
going to run for president.
God fucking damn it, man!
My dad is going to send me your political takes and
jeez.
try
does
to try to get me to understand a more quote centrist.
Just because
Hell
you pay
yeah,
somebody, like $300-400 million in a contract, doesn't mean that they need to be on every single goddamn television show for your sports. I mean, Jay, did you watch them during the NBA finals, like Stephen A. Smith stuff? And
No,
like,
I don't really take
didn't
in
watch
Stephen A. Smith content except for when
he was fighting LeBron.
No, it was when they asked him starting 5 of Sesame Street characters.
Oh,
That was good content.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
That was good. Yeah.
I just think that he's not going to be able to like really coexist next year with the Turner guys, with the
we'll
Inside the
see.
NBA guys, because
We're
they're
gonna
going to want everybody's going to want them to do the finals.
So does this movie is this movie mean to its actors?
Oh, you wanted to bring this up because you brought this up last week.
I brought it up on Showgirls.
Yeah, you brought this up about.
Certainly, yeah.
I was going to bring up the fact that I can't tell if the actors know if they're in on the joke.
They
or
do not. I am almost certain. And Denise Richards has said as much, at least.
Okay.
What is she? Do you have the quotes there, Jay, or anything from her?
This was a Guardian article from a while ago. She said, "I didn't think about the politics. I was just hoping not to get fired from my first big movie."
Well, she
fair.
became. Well, she became a.
She was
Bond girl
reading the
after
lines
this,
on the
so she's
page.
fine. You know
I
what
can
mean?
understand until Neil Patrick Harris shows up looking like, a Nazi officer. Then
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, guys,
You
you
might as
guys
well-
went to middle school, right?
You might as well just
Like,
goose step right on in.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. You went to social studies class, right? Like a little bit.
but I can understand them being in the war scenes, in the training sequences, not realize that where they're just kind of like, whoa, this is just like a more hardcore kind of, the instructor gets to just break people's arms. It's
I mean, that
This
does
is
seem
just
just
like
like a
more
heightened
extreme.
genre thing.
I mean, it's
like-
I mean, like,
exactly.
I think that you can mask a lot of what he's doing here. And obviously, as everybody knows, films are a director's medium and an editor's medium. Whatever they're getting out of them, they can recontextualize it and change it in with score and everything. But I think that there's a way where you can tell them, be sincere, but there's clearly other shit I'm going to be throwing in
No,
here.
I think this movie is mean to its actors.
But I do think when it comes to Denise Richards and some of these other actors, he could
I think
have
Casper
used,
Van Dien. I think Dina Meyer
I think-
understands what movie.
I
she's
think
in.
he could have used some different takes. Yeah, for sure. And maybe directed
Casper Van
them
Dien
one-
thinks he's, Arnold Schwarzenegger in this movie. or
Yeah, but he
Sylvester
also
Stallone.
returns to this series, so he fully.
What else was he
loves-
doing?
But that's the point. It's
He
like,
was in Sleepy Hollow. Good movie.
but that's the point. It's like he's kind of now
He's an action figure.
He's part of this whole thing. Like, he's been cast for this reason anyway. It's not like at this point I'd be like, I'll take the check and do it however fucking way you want. Like, I don't feel necessarily too bad for him as like Denise Richards, who's like really like, I feel like she probably had a lot of doubt about herself and her abilities at the end of this thing, probably a lot like Elizabeth Berkley, right? At the end of Showgirls, where, when we talked about that, it's like, did Berkley know? Did she not know? It took her a long time to embrace that thing. And it's taken, but Richards, Richards isn't known for this anymore, Jay. She's not known for this property.
What is she known for?
She's known for being
married to
Charlie Sheen. Yeah, that's really what she's known for. Or Wild Things, or being a Bond girl. You know what I mean? Like
she had been on at this point. She had been on Beverly Hills 90210. She's
probably known for that too.
Seinfeld. She had been on the Weird Science TV show. She was. Well, this was later than that, but she was on Friends as Ross's cousin, who he is very attracted to.
That's kind of funny.
It's like when it's like what in slow motions and like Barry White plays. Yeah,
it's pretty.
But I would not say that like if her blurb came up today, Denise Richards has passed.
Oh, are we doing CNN eulogy line?
This is a corner we do a lot. Yeah. I don't think that this would come up for her. I don't.
Jay. Here's the question. Does she get an announcement on CNN?
Yeah, and I think she would.
You think so?
Everybody gets a fucking announcement on CNN.
I think this would be included in.
She's also like in the reality television world as well too, with the housewife stuff. Like she'd get mentioned. She's and her stuff with Charlie Sheen is like legendary celebrity breakup stuff.
Was she married to him when he was going bananas?
I think they broke up and she was an ex by then. I have to double check and see all that stuff. You remember that era, Jay? That stuff was wild.
Tiger blood.
You never knew what was coming out of that guy's mouth left and right.
They divorced at the end of 2006. So
they had been broken up.
They've been broken up for a while, but I think a lot of that breakup caused then the, winning stuff that came out afterwards.
And she obviously one of the most reviled Bond girls.
Yes,
Dr. Christmas Jones.
Dr. Christmas Jones. Yeah.
There is a article from this year that says Denise Richards Charlie Sheen relationship update.
Hey.
I think she's kind of good in Wild Things.
I think she is not that bad in The World Is Not Enough.
I think she's very bad in that movie.
I do not think that movie's bad. I think it's good. I like that movie.
Movie's not very good.
No, you don't like it, but yet you're not the Bond fan, so you don't get a say.
She was in Undercover Brother.
She's very good in Undercover Brother. That is a funny movie. Have you seen that movie, Jay?
I have. That's a middle school movie.
That's a good movie though.
Eddie Griffin. That was the Eddie Griffin era.
Yeah, that's when we were like, is he the guy? And we're like,
He was killing it. Yeah, he was in John Q, which I just watched. An absolutely demented film.
Yeah. Would you do the same thing as John Q in that movie?
I have, man. Been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
Been there, held up a hospital.
What a cast in that John Q movie, by the way. You got James Woods, you got Eddie Griffith, you got Denzel, obviously, you got Duvall, Ray Liotta. It's a good cast in that movie.
James Woods
and Heche, I think.
I can't remember. Is he fixing Hollywood?
Yeah, he's working on it.
Yeah, he's in
the crew. He's one of the ambassadors.
He's one of the executive producers of Oppenheimer.
But is he in Trump's cabinet?
No, he's not.
Hollywood. I don't think he's in Trump.
I don't think he's one of the boys.
He didn't make the cut.
Stinks for him.
Yeah, which is really a shame. Anyway,
as far as Starship Troopers being mean to its actors or them not being in on the joke, I think that is in the spirit of this being a movie that just kind of snuck its way through the studio system, though. And I appreciate what it adds to this movie, that this cast is just like pretty much playing it straight. and what that the layers that adds to how the satire.
I love it being a soap opera at the beginning.
It really
funny does feel like the OC.
It's really funny that we get Verhoeven's take on the American high school experience for like the first half hours.
It feels like like Jay, you're watching a lot of like the American Pie films.
I'm going down the American Pie road.
And in watching the first 30 minutes of this movie, it's just like straight up like a 90s high school, like you're like high school coming of age film. It feels like,
but it is so it's
lit and everything.
Pointed. It almost feels like Twin Peaks to me. That's kind of
it feels kind of uncanny.
Like. Yeah. How cruel to publicize everyone's test scores.
Yeah,
You
that's a
know?
pretty dick move to do. Like,
right on the big screen. Just
yeah, and
everyone
just be
can
like,
see.
"You're a
And you can
fucking
look
failure."
you can look up
you know?
other people's scores
Yeah,
too.
you just type
Yeah.
in names and see everyone's score.
No, there's not even a
And then you're like,
code.
I'd like to take over the whole screen, please.
Yeah. Get the fuck
This
out of the
dude
way. I gotta show my
flunked.
D in calculus. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. That's for sure. But no, I love all that because then it reminds you. It just kind of reminds you too of like all these of all the war movies are like of the past too. It almost reminds you a little bit of like the Deer Hunter, where like they're having in like the Deer Hunter they have the wedding, and the wedding takes up like the first hour of that movie, it feels like, and then they go off to Vietnam. And then so this movie is like, oh, we're gonna get through high school, we're gonna graduate, and then we're enlisting.
Yeah, it makes it,
so
and the way it like plays as like a like a pretty fairly jolly like teen soap. It makes it just that much more perverse when,
Yeah.
when it gets to the military stuff. Basically, it's just such a stark contrast to the
I just
rest of
thought
the
I just
movie.
love the guy at the beginning. They're like trying to find out where they were, and then he finds out he's in the infantry. And
Yeah.
he goes in the infantry, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, that's the how I became who I am today."
Oh, that's the other. I think the two funniest things in the movie are the fact that they live in Buenos Aires, and he's like, "The mobile infantry made me the man I am today," and it just pans down to him having both of his legs blown off
And an arm's off too.
Yeah.
And he's but he's so chipper about it, and that's the thing too. It's like, the one time he wants to complain, or anything, like it's,
Then I'm just like, are you a moron if you don't understand like,
Then
the irony of that?
But then he tries to leave, right? And that's what I find really interesting is then those emotional decisions are, because there were a lot of people that story, and this is their story. I'm not saying anything against them out there, folks, but there were a lot of people in the military that once they saw the towers go down, they said, that's when I knew I had to enlist and I had to go and get the bastards that did this.
Do you remember the era of like patriotic country songs
Oh, you mean
during
like
that time?
You mean like Toby Keith and
The one I remember is "Where Were You When the World Stopped
Alan Jackson.
Turning
Alan Jackson.
on that September day."
Oh, sing the whole thing, Jay. Keep going.
Well, there's one line where he goes, "Well, I can't tell you the difference between Iraq and Iran." But it's like
shit.
I love the USA.
I have something to say that could get me canceled, but I don't know. Like,
Well, say it. Come on, why not?
That was
I
a
just
crazy era.
I just like, obviously 9/11 was a terrible tragedy. Like everyone knows.
Yeah.
We've
Well,
heard,
obviously,
we've heard it for
Well, we can establish, Trace, you were like 4 when it happened.
I was 4 and I had nothing to do with it because I was 4. But it's just like
I don't know, a 4-year-old masterminding 9/11. That's kind of ahead
no
of his
one would
time.
expect it.
And then you know what he did? He went into film criticism, folks. Would have never guessed it.
The greatest cover. Yeah, but it's just like the way we mythologize what happened on that day, like compared to like the terrible shit that happens everywhere else in the world, like all the time. It's just like it's just another great example of American exceptionalism. And I know I know everything, like I just said, I know 9/11 was terrible. And I know that like it was the first time anything like that had ever happened, like here at home or whatever. But it's
No,
just
but then
like,
we bastardized it and used it to go into Iraq.
absolutely, yeah.
Like,
We
didn't-
we used it as a cudgel.
We got off the plot immediately.
Yeah, we immediately used it as an excuse for imperialism. It's
Yeah,
like,
we
okay, great.
And then like anytime, a movie or you sort of remember 9/11, the number one thing I also remember, I'm like, oh, aluminum tubes. Because we really came to the bottom of those answers and figured out all that, right? Like that was always the thing that made me laugh the most, is that, yeah, we used our tragedy to then fuel a fire that was 15 years before.
Right.
I mean, whatever you got to do to get it done.
If you just want to talk about dominoes of 9/11, I believe the towers falling resulted in
I worked there.
3,000, just short of 3,000 deaths, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then that ended up resulting in the deaths of probably somewhere between 200 and 500,000 people dying in the Iraq War.
That's exactly what I mean. It's just so amazing. And it is just kind of uncanny the way this movie, and we've mentioned it, and you kind of brought it up when you were kind of talking about the movie yourself, Ryan, but just how kind of accurately Starship Troopers like exactly predicts this situation that went on to happen just a few years later. And it is just kind of uncannily prescient in that way, and it's just kind of very eerie to watch it unfold in the way it does in this movie.
This is a an article from 2023. This was the numbers, the Iraq War, the numbers of this, and it was 728 billion in the defense estimate of how much the U.S. spent directly on the war in Iraq from 2003 to 2012. 1.6 trillion was the amount spent combined on the wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria from the fiscal years of 2001 to 2021.
Well, I think Donald Trump just proposed a military budget for 1 year of upwards of $1 trillion.
Yeah.
So
4,492 U.S. service members were killed in Iraq. 32,292 were wounded in Iraq, and approximately 200,000 the number of Iraqi
to be
civilians
clear,
that
this
were
movie
killed in
came
the
out
war.
like 6 years before the invasion of Iraq. So
True, but that
know.
is a result of also the Gulf War. That is,
But it's also just this movie is about the ways that people
Korea.
find excuses to start wars.
Yeah.
Is kind of what it's about.
Which is like
is-
an eternal, an eternal battle, basically.
Which is funny because like we're in a time right when this movie comes out where we're not really in any giant conflict, and then this is the movie that shows the blueprint of how we'll get exactly back into a conflict if we want to be in it, and how we've been in ones before. And that's what I find to be interesting about it, Jay, is like it is a blueprint movie, and it is a criticism of like the system is built to always go back to this default mode, and it will use whatever it needs necessary to get people to sway public opinion on getting people signed up and back into the cause of America and red, white, and blue. I mean, literally, you're talking about how a music industry made literal political statements about their songs to, make everyone feel better and stand in unified. But then 3 women stood at a concert and said, we don't support George W. Bush and we're blackballed because of it.
Yep.
Or the fact that like now those same people are the same people that blackball anyone that takes a knee for a football game. So it's just very funny the sort of DNA that I think that Verhoeven is looking at from our history, and then how you can then interpret that many years down the road. So, but we weren't going to talk about the politics of this movie at all.
Well, I mean, I wanted to bring up. Let's talk about those bugs. The bugs are pretty cool.
They are cool, and the reason that the way that they perpetuate the hatred of the bugs as much as anything is just because they look gross.
Yeah, pretty much. And also, like, we enter the movie where like they're already waging this battle with them. They're kind of in this eternal conflict with the bugs already. But I feel like there's like some level in the movie. I don't know that it's brought up explicitly, but I feel like it's kind of somewhere implied in there that this is basically the humans' fault that this battle is being waged in the first place, and that there's no reason to think that the bugs aren't just like protecting their own territory, and that any retaliation from the bugs is just because of like the violence they've endured from the Citizens Federation or whatever up to this point.
If it's not the final line, it's one of the final lines of the movie where the Neil Patrick Harris character, the psychic, it's asking, it's got the
funny.
big brain bug, and they ask him, what is it thinking? It's afraid. It's afraid. That's the big victory in the movie. Is like we've got him in a vice.
But it also could just be a bunch of bullshit, because it's like the same person that's saying it's afraid and making you all celebratory, or it's like, well, we sent all these people in, but we really didn't have to in order to kill all of them, and justifiable deaths.
No, but that's the win, is being like, now we have some sort of power over these things. It's another territory that we have conquered.
But do they? Like, but also shouldn't you also a little bit, Jay, be like cynical at the idea of anything that Neil Patrick Harris?
This is not a cynical movie.
It's not a cynical movie at all?
No.
You shouldn't like question that everything he's saying is a crock of shit.
Oh, the entire existence of the psychic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fair point. I do kind of take that at face value, weirdly.
I do as well.
But even
Actually, I
still,
didn't.
he's talking about like that when they reunite after he's come back from the mission and lost Des and everything. He's like, they didn't have to go in there, but like they went in on essentially a hunch. You know what I mean? Like they, like, oh, well, maybe it's in there, maybe it's not. Maybe we don't know. Maybe go fuck yourself and just do your job. Like that's kind of what he says at the end. And he's like, it's like, I got a position open for you if you want it or not. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it until I die, I guess. And by the end, like, it's afraid. Sure, it's afraid. I mean, everybody else is blue pilled at this point. Why wouldn't you believe it coming from them? But of course, they have their all alternative motives because those people will never see battle and never actually have to face the consequences of war.
I
Right?
just think they're the most like powerful manipulators because yeah, but I mean you're right. They could make stuff up and everybody would just believe it.
I
But
mean, what
in
is a
that
government
moment,
if not doing that, right?
it being afraid is a totally reasonable response
It
to
is.
what just
It
happened.
is. But then how you then
But
spin that and
but
manipulate it afterwards, right?
the idea of humanizing those creatures in a movie like this is sort of unheard of.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the more powerful elements that the movie reveals.
But what other
And
response when you invade a country would be if not
well, no, I
afraid,
mean, totally,
right?
totally. But I mean, they were sucking their brains out,
I mean, that is fair. But I mean,
wouldn't
again,
want my
also,
brains sucked out.
they're already, but Jay, technically,
That's
their
pretty
brains,
gnarly effect.
but their
too.
brains have technically already been sucked out by the lies given to them
Oh,
by their country and government.
It's a metaphor.
True.
Just, I'm just putting it out there. So, but yeah, I love the training sequences in this movie too. I love that. The punishment,
Starring the Flying Dutchman from SpongeBob SquarePants.
yeah, Clancy Brown,
wow.
baby, my guy.
Mhm.
Do you guys think that the punishment for Rico at the end of the drill was a little excessive or right on? Like 10 lashes
I
felt
think
pretty
the
excessive.
biggest problem was was using live ammunition in a training exercise.
that was a
I
little
would
that was
say
a little much.
Yeah. Probably could have solved that
I
one
was
from the
sitting there,
start.
I was like, this is a training exercise. Maybe like the paintball, what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
maybe like
BBs,
maybe some
something.
lasers, maybe not this,
Like heavy
Jesus.
ammunition too. That guy's head got blown up.
He, it's very funny. When I was watching it this go around, I was like, Jesus Christ, I forgot how real this exercise was. My God.
I appreciate the just the bloody violence that this really utilizes its R rating for.
Oh man, that's
I
that's
love the
just
details.
a
I
Verhoeven
love
staple.
the unisex locker rooms.
Oh, you're talking.
That's a
You're,
great detail.
just say, Jay. Just fucking say it. You love the shower scene. Just say it.
The shower scene is a great scene, I think. It does. I mean, it really does speak to the world of this movie, where it's just like sex and violence mean nothing to these people, right? I mean, that's kind
10
of
minutes. Actually,
what
make it
the
20.
training elements say to me. Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
that's good stuff right there.
Who's under there?
Who's under there? All right, make it 20.
We're going out right now.
Yeah.
Make it 20 minutes.
We got 20 minutes. We can do it. Like, and it sounds like they're about to go on a mission, literally. What do you think of I guess the relationship dynamic and the love triangle that's in the film? Do you guys, Trace, you were kind of talking about earlier.
I'm so pro
buying into-
Dizzy, man. I'm all in on Dizzy.
Yeah, she's
Let me
great.
just tell you.
I'm
Yeah.
pro Dizzy too.
Man,
Yeah.
the minute they get rid of Denise Richards, I'm like, yeah, these guys should just get together, guys.
Well, that's the thing. And like, I was kind of thinking that watching this movie too. And that's what I kind of spoke to when I gave my initial thoughts is like, this kind of like gets you involved with the characters and their stuff like their romantic plight with each other and their love triangle, which I think is like kind of conveyed kind of effectively. And I kind of get caught up in them, like from a plot perspective and story perspective as characters. And like, I do end up caring about some of the interpersonal drama that they have going on, which like directly conflicts with some of, the satire that it's otherwise giving to you like flat on its face, and it's a very interesting dynamic.
But you could maybe say that is one of the biggest assets that movies like propaganda has is distracting you with something else and then inundating you subconsciously with this message. There's romance over here, and you don't even notice. The propagation of militaristic superiority and the infiltration of military industrial complex into your everyday life. It's
Absolutely.
it's a very effective piece of satire. I think he's a smart guy.
When you
You notice Did you notice that the song that they play on the fiddle at the big party is I Wish I Was in Dixie? I thought that was funny.
I didn't notice that.
Didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
You know, the Southern, the Confederate song.
Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't even put that together until you just said it. Jesus. I was like, okay.
It's a very smart film.
Very smart film. Jay, anything else you want to mention about it?
Oh my God. How much time you got?
We got a lot of time, but I'm just trying to get you on more stuff about it, buddy.
No, I love that the song "Fade Into You" is in the film. A great song, just in general. A wonderful song that plays sort of in the I can't remember when exactly that plays. It plays when they're in the military for sure, at kind of an inappropriate time. But I was just like, oh, it's a great song. Casper Van Dien, I think, is giving an appropriate performance for his character. Again, I think it might be kind of mean to him. He's looking great.
What did he go
Okay,
on to
let's
do
be
after
clear.
this?
Sleepy Hollow and very little else. He
Oh.
married a princess, I think,
Oh, well.
like a European princess.
Well,
Oh,
good
he's
for
doing well
him.
himself. Yeah, what the
I believe they are divorced now, but
Oh, well, no,
Oh,
I'm
he's in
sorry.
he's in the Tom DeLonge movie?
excuse me, the what movie?
The,
Tom DeLonge made a movie.
Yeah, he made a movie called Monsters of California. I don't know where it is or what's happening with it. It's been kind of in production for a while, and I think it might have premiered at some point, but I don't know when it's supposed to actually
Oh, it's
come out or
a
anything.
still unreleased film.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he made a like a sci-fi alien movie, and it looks like
Interesting.
Casper Van Dien's in it.
So he came back for the third film, it looks like.
Yeah, he came back for Star. I mean, he's been in a bunch of. He's been a working actor, basically, is what he's been.
Yeah.
He's been
But
in
he-
a lot of stuff.
But he didn't come back for the second one, it looks like.
No, because he was too busy making like Tim Burton movies.
Yeah. But no, I'm just looking at his filmography here. It's rough.
There's not a ton to talk about as far as career retrospectives of these actors.
no, like
there's-
Dina Meyer became like a
there's not a lot of
staple
meat on that
in
bone.
the Saw movies, it looks like.
She was in a she was a very prominent figure in the Saw movies.
Jake Busey, your favorite guy, Jay, and a ton of stuff.
Oh, I'm all about the Buseys.
The Busey,
Jake,
he was
Jake
in the
Busey
Fright-
has actually had a pretty
he
good
was in the
career. He's been in some
Frighteners.
good stuff.
He was in the Frighteners.
Yep.
Twister, Contact, Identity, Enemy of the State,
No, he had a good run there for a while.
Shane Black's Predator. One of your
Oh, he was
favorites?
in The Predator.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then there's this guy, Neil Patrick
maybe not
Harris.
a
Don't
great
know
run
whatever
then.
happened to him. Looks like he was in a movie called Gone Girl and a television show called
Neil Patrick Harris was one of the most beloved American performers for like 5 years.
When he was a kid?
No, it was How I Met Your Mother,
The Tonys.
hosting all the award shows.
What happened,
he
you
was,
think?
He was a big deal.
What do you think happened?
How I Met Your Mother ended. I mean, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And then he had that career. He had that sort of reclamation with Harold and Kumar. That was definitely
Yeah,
a
that
big
was
thing.
big,
It was
yeah.
like, oh, he can make fun of himself. That's so cool.
I think the thing about him is that much like Lin-Manuel Miranda,
His
he
last
had like
movie
a
was 2022.
he had like a little bit of a okay, maybe we need to see
Yeah,
less of you a little bit.
oversaturation.
Yeah.
for sure.
He's you know what he's great in, Jay?
What's that?
The Matrix Resurrections.
He is. That's a great film.
Great film. Trace, do you like that film?
I
But,
want to
but-
rewatch because I remember like appreciating it, but kind of being disappointed by it. But I know
Oh,
I get
I love it.
I know all the arguments for it. I understand it.
love it.
I want to rewatch.
love that movie.
Oh, he's in American Reunion. Haven't watched that one yet. Can't wait to get there and see Neil Patrick Harris.
What was
I
he?
like him in the Smurfs too.
He's in the Muppets.
He's in the Muppets.
What is he in? The Unbearable Weight of a Massive Talent. What is he in that? Is he like his
He plays a
agent?
character named Richard Fink.
Yeah, who knows?
How do you not remember that?
I don't
The
remember
legacy of The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is that meme of them in
Pedro
the car,
Oh, and Pedro Pascal's face when he's high on the drugs.
which is great. It always makes me laugh. It's very funny meme.
It's a fun movie.
That movie is totally fine.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just good fun. Sometimes it doesn't need to be more than that. You know what I mean? So
We love a 3-star movie.
can I tell you the guy that absolutely rules in this movie? And I just gotta say it once
Michael
again.
Ironside?
Michael Ironside.
Yeah, he rules.
Yeah.
So fucking badass in this movie.
Obviously.
You know, I got one. What's the one rule, Jay? What's his one rule?
I mean, I know it. You put me on the spot now. I'm mad
I
that
know.
I can't remember.
I know.
Just say it.
No, you say it.
No, I
you
can't
to,
remember.
I want you to get it.
I can't remember.
Come on.
I can't remember.
All right. Well, you can look it up. I'll let you look it up. I'm gonna make you say it. It's your movie.
I'm looking it up now. Everybody fights, no one quits. If you don't do your job, I'll kill you myself. Welcome to the Roughnecks.
See, there you go.
That was pretty good.
That's why I wanted him to say it. Jay's got a great acting voice on this show. Trace, any final thoughts on Starship Troopers? Anything you want to mention or say or talk about?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've hit my big points that I like about the movie. I definitely like. I know for Jay, this is like an all-time favorite of yours. This is like a quintessential formative Jay movie.
Jay, you saying this is better than every Star Wars movie. That's just felt like a
that
that was.
I honestly don't even think that's that controversial an opinion for a 34-year-old man.
That's a little rough.
I think it's better than a lot of Star Wars movies.
Yeah, but like every one of them.
If there's one that
better
you can
than
maybe say it's
Empire?
worse than, it's probably Solo. I think it's Solo and Starship Troopers are like 1A, 1B.
That's the worst Star Wars movie. To be
No,
Solo?
no.
Yeah,
Rise of Skywalker exists.
they both are.
Solo is better than Rise of Skywalker. I hate Attack of the Clones.
No, I'll give Attack of the Clones a little bit more. I will watch Attack of the Clones more than I will ever watch Solo.
Agreed.
Solo just is so
Nothing.
At least there's terrible, dumb, interesting, bad ideas in both of those other two movies that I'm like,
You are right about that. But that doesn't make it better. It makes it
no,
more
because Solo is so bland and it's Ron Howard and they took it out of
Whereas
hands and
Attack of the Clones is like a failure.
yeah, but there's at least a couple of cool things.
Valuing that more.
There's not one cool thing in Solo.
I'm kind of with Ryan here. I much prefer Attack of the Clones over Solo.
Yeah, and even like Rise of Skywalker, terrible. There's a couple of good things in there. This
Rise of Skywalker is terrible.
Yeah, you lost me there.
Yeah, but no, I mean in comparison to Solo, like just yeah, I'm never gonna watch that movie again. It was the one on the rewatch where I was like, can this end? Like this one felt like the chore.
I've been thinking about doing another Star Wars watch.
Well, you're gonna have to watch it one day with the kid.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm kind of delaying it. Maybe it's just like I'm gonna watch these in a few.
I think he would love. Watching.
I just watched
Jedi.
Empire for the Oscar retrospective.
Oh, okay.
What a banger!
Good movie.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think that is far and away the best Star Wars movie.
When Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Well, that's a controversial.
I don't even think it's the controversial opinion is I don't think it's close.
No, I don't disagree with you. I think I will say this. One of the great rep screenings I ever went to is they played the original Star Wars at a concert hall in Austin. And I went and saw all three of them back to back to back. It's like 10 years ago or something. And
that's cool. Did you get shoved in the locker afterwards? You nerd.
Nerd.
Fuck y'all. But anyway, it was the day that Kenny Baker died, actually, which was really sad. Who played R2D2. But I watched Empire Strikes Back for the first time with an audience. And anytime Vader would force choke to death one of those guys, everybody was just absolutely laughing their ass off because it's so absurd how many times he does it throughout that film. And yet that movie is just, it's the perfect sequel. It takes everything about the first one and it elevates it. And it's one of the three of the originals that's the least touched. It has been touched by Lucas for sure, but it's the least noticeable of the touches that he did with like the original.
Love that musical number at the beginning of Return of the Jedi, though.
God, that fucking takes you out of that movie immediately. Like if you watch all those back to back to back, and you watch Star Wars and you watch Return and Empire, you're like, okay, this is at least got the same vibe. Sure, there's some of the CGI stuff takes you out. That, fucking song with Lynn, like the first 3 minutes of that movie, you're like, I am in an 80s movie. I am not in a Star Wars movie anymore. It is rough. Absolutely rough shit. Yeah. No, I agree with you, Jay.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff. Okay. Jay?
Yeah.
How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling great. I love this movie so much.
I think, you know what the legacy of this movie now is, though, Jay? I want to say this before we get into the game.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about the legacy of Starship Troopers.
The legacy of Starship Troopers actually nowadays is not anything other than the first 20 seconds of the film.
No,
because it has been memed.
The legacy of this movie now is that cinephiles love it.
No, the legacy. No, that's what you think after you get out of your locker, nerd. But what people actually think
this is for cool. This is for cool guys.
That's what a nerd would say.
Super Troopers. Starship Troopers fans give Star Wars fans wedgies and noogies.
I think we're all in the same fucking locker, and you think you're pretentious and better than anybody.
Big locker.
Yeah, because how are your sequels, buddy? All right, anyway. So because in the first 20 seconds of this movie is I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. And what did I text you today, Jay? Then there's the Tim Robinson gift of I didn't do fucking shit. That is the now legacy of this movie, where so many people have taken the beginning of that and then added that to it. It's been memeified to death. That's what it is in the culture.
It's been absorbed into kind of like completely disconnected from the movie and just absorbed into reaction gift conversation.
Yeah. It's very funny how like if you're like, oh, that's actually in Starship Troopers, and it's in the first 20 seconds of this movie. Is where they rip it out of.
What a biting satire. I would love to boil it down to one meme that will take it out of context.
Exactly.
Like most people.
Oh, you mean like how most people do nowadays with shit, Jay?
We live in hell. We're awful. It's
Jay,
terrible.
Before we get out of here.
It's so bad, man.
I'm feeling pretty good.
We're going to test your words.
You know what? You're right. I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Based on the movie.
Point by Trace. Trace really brought up some good points
outlook.
there. We're feeling good.
You just got to think positively, buddy.
Yeah.
That's all. We're going to test your war season knowledge based on the film we just reviewed, Starship Troopers, in a game we like to call It's an Honor to Get Nominated. Jay?
Yeah, man.
We talked a lot about Verhoeven and his Oscar films, and we zigged and we zagged, and we've gone back and forth.
A surprising amount of Oscar play for his type of movie.
Jay, was this movie nominated for any Academy Awards?
I mean, if it didn't get special effects, then the Oscars are invalid.
Is that your
But
guess,
that would surely be the only thing that it got.
Okay, so you're saying visual effects and that's it, correct?
Correct.
Jay? You're absolutely right.
Okay, all right. Thank God. They've got eyeballs.
Starship Troopers was nominated for Best Visual Effects. It was nominated against The Lost World Jurassic Park.
Ooh.
And it lost. Both of those films lost to Titanic.
I mean,
course.
You know what? Fair.
Big Jim.
Yeah.
Big Jim. Big Jim's big bugs.
What's your favorite effect in this movie?
I just think at any time when it's like the swarm of bug attacks, but I just think that they're really good. But I think for me, like there's one sequence when Neil Patrick Harris is demonstrating the bug, like in where how to shoot them effectively, and I just always think about that sequence to just personify like and showcase singularly what one of these things and how disgusting this thing looks. But then also I think too of like the practical effect of him cutting open the bug, like how like we dissect frogs, how they're dissecting the bug.
Oh yeah, that's good.
With Rue McClanahan, Rue McClanahan,
out of nowhere,
freaking badass. Anyway, Trace, you were gonna say something? I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I was gonna say pretty much the two that you said actually. The overwhelming swarm of the bugs, which like looks amazing actually.
Mm-hmm. It's better than like anything you get.
Well, the bugs are so rudimentary looking that it ages well.
Yeah.
The sound effects on it too are like
Yeah,
really
yeah.
well done.
And also that practical bug dissection in the classroom is like pretty sick.
Yeah.
That
I
looks really
like
cool.
I like when the torso of the soldier gets chucked at Rico.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's pretty vile.
I do
Um,
kind of like the bug standoff, and they're all in that whole sequence there in the second act, I guess third act of the film or whatever, where they're at this one central location and all the bugs are surrounding them, and it's like the bugs are closing in on them. That's such a cool set piece.
I think it's funny that there's like a revolutionary Mormon colony that gets massacred by bugs.
There's so many like just thrown off like sadistically violent little moments just like the imagery of like body parts strewn around in some of their
Yes.
recruitment videos like that, or just even the part with like the little kids stomping on the bugs and that
Yeah.
mom like laughing maniacally at them stomping on them.
Jay.
Obvi-
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut
No,
you off
go,
there,
go,
Trace.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I'm going to ask a really stupid question. So
I was
Yeah,
gonna
sure.
say,
Ask
well, I
Trace finish.
I was gonna say obviously the effect of them sucking the brains out of
Oh, that's
good.
really good.
bro,
So good.
it's crazy. Yeah, just
Made you really want a milkshake. I think when you're
Something like that.
drank your
or milkshake.
brains.
Yeah, which you know what? Sadly, once again, Richard Jewell doesn't get that reference. Jay,
That is very sad. We didn't talk about Patrick Muldoon, another guy who looks like an action figure.
he looks like an absolute. He's just man, what a guy you want to punch in the face.
Yeah. What do you think about Jump Ball? We didn't talk about Jump Ball.
Yeah, okay.
I kind of fuck with jump ball.
I kind of it kind of like you remember when like it's like American Gladiators meets football meets like
Why can they jump like that?
yeah. How did they well, how are they psychic and they can jump like that? Like what the hell's going on at this school? Like I know more about this school than fucking Shiz and Wicked. Like, you know what I mean? Like these guys feel like fucking wizards compared to those people. Like, my God, like they're doing things. I guess, hey, that's what they do in South America, Jay. You know,
I guess so.
I guess so.
Never been.
Jay, question: favorite Golden Girl?
Favorite Golden Girl. Gotta be honest, haven't really
You never watched Golden
dug
Girls?
into the Golden Girls.
Trace, have
I
you
might
ever watched
seen
the
a
Golden
stray
Girls?
episode
No,
or
I'm
two.
pretty unfamiliar with the intricacies of the Golden Girls universe.
You guys don't even. Do you guys know the theme song?
I can't say I do.
If you sing
Golden
it,
Girls,
which you will,
Golden Girls.
I
Jay,
will.
you don't know. Thank you for being a friend.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
I was waiting for you to continue singing it, but I guess
Thank you for being a friend. Something, something. I'm a golden girl. Yeah.
I'm not my grandma, so
I've always been a B. Arthur fan myself.
I mean, you
but
gotta love B. Arthur.
my grandfather loved watching it.
Obviously, Betty White had a big era
Yeah,
when we were younger.
yeah. She had a big resurgence. before the-
R.I.P.
Yeah, well, they're all gone now.
99. You know what stinks?
What?
I'm looking
She-
at her biography.
She didn't get to
right
100.
now. She was 17 days away from getting to 100.
That's man.
You gotta get to 100.
She's just got to be kicking herself with that with Richard
I'd be
Jewell.
so mad if I
Yeah.
was her. Yeah.
She's like, God damn it, Richard! I was 17 days away. You know what I mean? So
And Richard's like, they framed me.
he got his name cleared before it was all said and done,
I
right?
think I'd like that movie.
What do you think?
That's a
like that
good
movie,
movie.
I love there's that scene in the movie in Richard Jewell, not to continue to bring it back to that movie. And it's in the clip where they're in the FBI office and Richard Jewell Paul Walter Hauser playing Richard Jewell goes, "Can I ask something?" And John Hamm as his character goes, "What?" You know, like he gets so angry about it. And Clint, just used probably one take for that, and that's how it's probably like the last
I think
day of
Kathy
shooting.
Bates
or
is kind
something.
of unbelievable in that movie.
She's great. I think Rockwell's good in that movie. The one
Rockwell's
that's
good in that
giving an
movie.
absolute wild performance in that movie is Olivia Wilde. Like
That'd be wild.
what
Yeah,
they do to that character is fucking crazy.
I mean, that was the prime criticism when the movie came out.
Yeah, one that I kind of understand, but still, I enjoy the movie.
I like that movie. I think it's good.
Trace, did you like The Jury? Number 2?
Juror
Oh,
number
two?
yeah, I did like juror number 2.
I like juror number
Do you like
2 a
dirt?
lot.
And you went on jury duty, buddy. All right.
I
Jay,
served.
Trace, would you guys nominate Super Trooper or Starship Troopers? See, Jay did it and fucked me
I've
over
done it
on the
like
one.
3 times. Man.
Starship Troopers.
Best
you guys-
picture, best director, best
Actor.
editing, best screenplay for sure.
Let me look at editor.
Costumes, come on.
Best film editing was the winner was Titanic. The winner was, or that was the winner. The other nominees were Air Force One, As Good as It Gets, Good Will Hunting, LA Confidential. Best Stooms.
Yeah, give me Stooms.
What is Stooms?
The Stooms best Stooms were Titanic.
Man, the last episode of Golden Girls aired one day before my first birthday.
Well, there you go, buddy.
That's crazy.
Amistad, Kundun,
Insane.
Oscar and Lucinda,
One for Another, the death of the Golden Girls
and
television show,
and the
birth of
wings,
Jay.
and the wings of the dove. Yeah, this should have gotten in there easily.
I literally have no idea what Wings of a Dove is.
Wings of the Dove is a movie that just doesn't exist. Doesn't look like.
Sounds pretty good.
It sounds pretty good. It sounds like you're going to be watching it this weekend. Best director, you said?
Easily.
I
mean, look, you got Big Jim in there.
You got Big Jim. He won.
It's good work by him.
Peter Canato for The Full Monty, Gus Van Sant, Good Will Hunting, Curtis Hanson, LA Confidential, and Adam Egoyan, yeah, for The Sweet Hereafter.
Oh, I can't. The people are still just clamoring for a Sweet Hereafter sequel. They love it.
What is that even? I haven't seen.
I don't know what that is.
Titanic, As Good as It Gets, The Full Monty, Good Will Hunting, LA Confidential.
I don't think I would give it an acting.
I gotta remember too. This is the year of like Boogie Nights, Jackie Brown.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what movies came out this year.
This would be
you know who should have won Best Supporting Actor?
What's his face? Burt Reynolds.
No, Robert Forster. Jackie Brown.
Oh, you're Robert Forster.
Absolutely.
Either one of those. I don't mind Robin though.
No, Robin's good. I mean,
Robin's really
has an
good.
Oscar.
He's really good.
He's up there with Betty and Ricky
and
Richie J.
Richie J. Yeah. Truly, Greg Kinnear, one of the worst nominations ever. I'm not As Good as It Gets. Ooh, what a rough.
I like As Good as It Gets.
Do you?
Yeah.
So you like its representation of the gay community?
Yeah, it's pretty offensive.
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
1997 was the year The Pest came out, so I think we're missing some Pest recognition at the.
I'm going to give it sound for sure. Both sounds.
Both sounds. Okay.
I'm going to give it art direction. I'm going to give it Stooms.
You keep the visual effects.
Absolutely. It'd probably win.
Makeup?
I don't know. Titanic's visual effects are pretty unbelievable.
Would you put it in makeup?
No, I don't think so. Well, I guess all the limbs blown off are pretty impressive.
Titanic, Mrs. Brown. The winner was
limbs.
The winner for best makeup was Men in Black.
Good makeup.
That's
Ricky
good. B.
Ricky B, correct?
Yeah, Ricky B.
Rick Baker himself.
Score? Would you put it in score?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there's one in there that I would kick out for it.
Score.
Don't particularly remember the score for Amistad, although that's John Williams, so he has to get.
I don't particularly remember Kundun's, even though that's Philip Glass.
It's Philip Glass. I've never seen Kundun. I gotta watch that one.
Nine times out of 10, it's probably a really good score, though.
Philly Glass is my guy.
Yeah, he's really good. Trey Goldstein's
very subtle.
Confidential is really good. I'd probably kick out Elfman for Good Will Hunting because there's
Philip Glass is 88.
Yeah, he's just retired now, right?
He's getting in the Betty White zone.
Yeah, oh my God! All right, Trace, thank you so much for coming on and doing this silly show with us.
Thank you for letting me.
Really appreciate you enlisting, and now we can say you're fully a citizen.
You're a citizen.
Thank God.
So, you get to pick your next movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so. Do whatever we're covering, I guess. But
No, you can pick any movie. The
Pest.
movie? We might do The Pest.
Limited. We might do The Pest. Okay.
Who directed The Pest?
Yeah, who directed The Pest?
I don't know who directed The Pest.
This is a good question. This is what everybody wants to know.
Oh my God, Stanley Kubrick?
Oh shit. it was Paul Miller, who has directed,
Oh,
let's
he was
see,
a
Kevin James, Sweat the Small Stuff, Lewis
Jesus.
Black, Red, White, and Screwed.
looks like he was very involved with Mad TV, Alf, and In Living Color.
Yeah, lots of
Some
stand-up
SNL.
comedies. Lots of stand-up comedy specials that he's directed, including George Lopez Why You Crying from 2005.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah, iconic. And then yeah, I think his only feature film is The Pest.
He
So
was nominated for. Oh, he won.
Three
Excuse me.
Three Emmys.
The Directors Guild of America Award for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Variety Talk News Sports / Specials.
Okay.
Carol Burnett, 90 Years of Laughter and Love.
Yeah, he won the Emmy for directing the Tonys one year. He won the Emmy for directing It's Your 50th Christmas Charlie Brown special, and he won the Emmy for Carol Burnett 90 Years of Laughter and Love in 2023.
Wow, there are two actors listed as the main stars of The Pest. One is John Leguizamo, of course, we love him, and the other
no.
is Jeffrey Jones.
No, Jay. No, no. No. We're not going down that rabbit fucking hole. I know where that one was going. I literally saw the cast and went, got to stop you now. Please, God. We've already done
Hold
it.
on, there's some. I'm getting down to the legal issues section of this Wikipedia page.
I'm just saying. The post-career page on Wikipedia. Yeah.
Why wasn't he in Beetlejuice 2?
Oh no.
Ironically, there's a lot of him in Beetlejuice too, just like in a very strange capacity.
yeah, that's right. There's like
they brutally murder him,
and they bring back everything but his head, which is. And then it was, what was funny? Like at the time when that movie was coming out, not to go on this tangent, but I was like, well, clearly they can't bring back Alec Baldwin because everything going on with him. And then my wife reminded me of Jeffrey Jones. I went, that's actually even worse. So
can I tell you something else to bring this episode full circle?
Yes.
Jeffrey Jones was in Who's Your Caddy?
There it is.
Thank God.
There
and it all comes back around.
Trace, tell everybody where they can find you and all your work
in Who's Your Caddy
on the internet, as well as also. Can you give our listeners a recommendation of the week? Something that you've been watching, can be new, old, just something you want to recommend to them to catch up with this week.
Oh my gosh, a recommendation of the week. Well, okay, you can find me on Letterboxd, Trace Sauveur. You can find me on the AwardsWatch website. You can also find me on some other websites sometimes, like Paste Magazine, /Film, sometimes doing stuff like that. Also, if you're in Atlanta, you can come find me out in the wild playing music in my band, High Rise Fire. We have a show on July 31st at 529. So if anyone's in Atlanta, Jay, we have a show.
What do they think of 2-year-olds?
Well, actually, do they have a fake ID?
I can figure it out.
Okay, we'll figure it out. Right. So I'll be doing that. Recommendation for the week. What have I watched recently? I rewatched a horror movie that I kind of liked the other night with my wife, called Grave Encounters. I can't go to bat for this movie as like a masterpiece, but it is like a surprisingly effective found footage horror movie if you're into that sort of thing. And I do have a soft spot for found footage horror. And I rewatched this after not seeing it for a few years, and I thought it was surprisingly effective. So go watch Grave Encounters.
All right. Okay. Jay?
Letterboxd J Ledbetter, Twitter at Mr. J Ledbetter. Any writing I'm doing over at good old AwardsWatch. We just did our 25 best movies of 21st century as we're recording this, so go check that out. I wrote about a little film called The Tree of Life.
You also wrote about
another film, Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah. We might have another piece similarly to that here in the next couple of weeks.
2 Brad Pitt vehicles.
Yeah,
that's true.
I also wrote about those because I just did a Brad Pitt ranked list for /Film.
Oh, yeah. Vroom, vroom.
What was number 1?
Inglourious Bastards.
What was number 2?
Tree of Life.
Hell yeah.
What was number 3?
Reverse order for me, but those would be my 2 as well.
Trace, what was number 3?
What was number 3? I'll have to pull it up. I can't remember what it was.
California.
Oh God, I've seen that movie.
The
Jesus
Counselor.
Christ. Hold
Andy
on.
Milonakis was in Who's Your Caddy?
Jay, give your recommendation of the week.
All right,
Oh,
my
it was Once Upon
recommendation
a
of the
Time in
week.
Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time.
Oh yeah, that's a Ryan and super fave.
Yeah. Well, you love it too. Shut up.
Oh, I do. Yeah, but that's a you movie. for
Yeah,
sure.
that's a me movie. I love that
You
movie.
and you and Sophia. Good grief.
I'm
I do
about
love
already.
I do love that movie though.
Yeah.
Recommendation of the week. I rewatched Top Gun Maverick yesterday, and it just is the best.
Absolutely.
It's
Jay,
the
you want
best.
me to? Jay, you
You
want
seen
me to?
F1?
It's the best one. Have not seen F1 yet.
You haven't seen F1?
Gonna see it soon.
Oh,
and
man.
you know what was fun? Watching Top Gun Maverick this time was I watched it with my 2-year-old who loves
man.
vehicles.
Oh,
So
buddy.
motorcycles, planes,
Oh yeah, vehicles are pretty cool.
aircraft carriers. He was locked in.
Yeah.
And we loved it. Yeah.
Glenn Powell's arms.
A
just
very
planes,
honestly kind of a
vehicles.
special, one of those like dad moments. It was good. It
Jay.
was good to be a dad yesterday when I watched that one.
That movie's got important people alerts all over it. You know?
Well, Jennifer Connelly, I should write an essay, a dissertation
but Monica Barbaro.
on the timelessness of Jennifer Connelly. Yeah, Monica Barbaro, of course, beautiful woman. And
Trace, have we asked you before?
Shout out, beautiful woman.
Trace, have we asked you before?
shout out to
who-
all the beautiful women out there. We love them.
Trace, have we asked you before who your important person is?
Important.
Do you know what the important person thing is here?
Important person.
So like we on the show, when we talk about our crushes in the world, we call
Not
them,
objectifying when you call them.
yeah, we
important
just say
people.
that person's important to us. Like that's our, they're very important. They're an important person.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like an important person to you out there outside of your wife.
Yeah, of course. Well, I was just thinking actually while I was watching.
Don't answer your wife. We don't answer our wives.
Yeah,
around here.
all right.
Absolutely not.
Well, she's a given.
What
I was-
what a bunch of dorks we would be to say that we love our wives.
I was while I was watching the Richard Donner Superman, I was like, man, I kind of have a crush on Margot Kidder, and I realized,
yeah,
well, she
for
kind
sure.
of just looks like my wife. So I think that's why I have a crush on her.
He's a wife. We got the ultimate wife guy on the pod.
There you
Yep,
go.
that's right.
Ryan, who's your number one most important person right now?
Audra Arjona.
That's a
It's
good
rumored to be the next Wonder Woman if James Gunn gets his way, or the internet gets their way. Either way, I saw her at Cannes, and I just speechless. Absolutely, I was like, I am so right to have her at the number one pick right now. In yours, of course, Jay is Rebecca Ferguson.
Rebecca Ferguson has been for a while now.
So Jay and I, we do love ourselves some Dua Lipa coverage. We
do love.
I gotta give a shout out to Saoirse Ronan.
Oh,
Ronan,
Saoirse.
absolutely.
Very nice. Very nice.
Star of I Could Never Be Your Woman. A terrible film.
Which one is that one?
But we love her nonetheless.
Could Never Be Your Woman. Which one was that?
Paul Rudd, Michelle Pfeiffer. It was like direct to blockbuster.
I remember that. Wow. Okay. And she plays like what? Michelle Pfeiffer's daughter in that? Or something
Yeah,
like that?
correct.
This
Yeah,
is a
American accent.
Ooh.
It's an Amy Heckerling movie, right?
Yeah,
then you'll
yeah. I'm
see
watching it. I'm watching it because Blank Check is covering Amy Heckerling.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Not a ton of good Amy Heckerling films, I must say.
A bit of a rough series for them over there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her and like
Her top stuff's great though.
Clueless is unbelievable though.
yeah, Clues is amazing comedy.
Yeah. That's one of our best. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, around McQuade77. You can find my work here at awardswatch.com. You're the over iTunes, Spotify 5-star reviews. We greatly appreciate that. While you're over the website, please sign up for the newsletter that is released every week, at least a couple times a week. My recommendation of the week.
Did you know that Amy Heckerling had an affair with Chris Kattan?
You really just can't help but interrupt me tonight, can you? Why don't you just shut up? I rewatched a film that we covered, Jay, on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I recently rewatched The Parent Trap. And
Yeah.
I want to say this, is that I rewatched it with my entire, my wife's side of the family. We had a big dinner, and Father's Day, we went over there. We wrote down different Disney movies, in a hat, and I wrote down The Parent Trap, and my pick won. And so we're trying to make this like an annual thing. Like once a month, we all come together for a big dinner. We sit down, and we watch a movie. So I was this close.
An annual thing once a month. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Got his ass.
Listen, I know that you guys don't like to spend time with your families, but at least once a month we like to get together and have a good time.
There we go.
So we watched the film. Absolutely just great to watch this with a group of people because, you know, Jay, when we talked about that movie being the most deranged film about parenting ever.
No, a demented
movie. Every time though that they mention, and I forgot about this, and I don't think I said this with you and Christina on that episode. Anytime they're like, but like when one of the reveals of the girls to each other, or that the switch is happening with both parents or with Jesse, it just works every time. There's like this magic, like every time that movie is about to fall apart, Nancy just kind of finds a way sentimentally to put it all back together. It was such a great time. Loved watching it. And then I was this close, Jay, for the next family dinner. I put in the hat. They said, throw in any movie. And I threw in Heat. Because what with your family would you not want to watch more than a 3-hour action movie?
That's true. Sweaty Al Pacino having sex.
Yeah, just talking about great ass. Anyway, I was like 2 picks away, and mine got picked. And anyway, my sister-in-law's boyfriend, he threw in a movie that he's never seen, and I can't wait to watch this next month. He'd never seen Blade Runner.
Okay.
And so so I got
what
to the car.
What cut are you going to throw on?
That's exactly what my wife said when we got into the car.
It's the final.
It's the final cut. That's the real answer. But it was like, she was like, "Oh shit, what cut are we actually going to watch?" Because it really does matter. It matters a lot. So
they're very different.
Yeah. Very different. But we're going to watch the final cut.
And then you got to watch 2049 the month after.
Well, I mean, no, that could be like his own journey. I think we're gonna, I don't know what.
Oh yeah, because he's never seen it.
He's never seen it, so yeah.
Hey, how are we feeling about Villeneuve on Bond?
God damn it, Trace! We were almost out of here before you got me going on this.
This is big. This is big.
Jay, you want to go first? You want to say something?
I think he's a really great technical director who doesn't have a ton of ideas. So I think he's kind of perfect for Bond. Like, I mean, that's my honest answer. Yeah.
I think, tonally speaking, it is a terrible fucking choice. I really do.
Can you watch those Craig ones? They're very dour.
Yeah, but the point of the getting out of the Craig era was to maybe try to do something different. And I actually think
the Bond actor matters a lot more than the Bond.
I do. I agree with that 100%. But I do feel that the tone set at the first Bond film is indicative then of the Bond.
That is true. It's like directing the pilot.
Yes, exactly. So whoever they get here, they're gonna live in the Villeneuve world because there's no way
it's gonna be funny. If it's Villeneuve, you know it's gonna be.
Oh, funny. You know those female characters, so much depth.
It's gonna be sort of like a Roger Moore-esque energy.
I just feel like it's. I hope he doesn't have Greg Fraser because it's going to look
What's
super
the best
bland.
joke in a Villeneuve movie?
I'm sure it's.
I'm not sure there is one. I like when Harrison Ford gives the dog whiskey.
When he gives whiskey,
that's funny.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, hilarious. Been like thinking about that as the best joke of the last 20 years. No, when I just
Hugh Jackman turns the hot water on.
Oh my God, what's wrong with you? When Amy Adams is like, "Yeah, I watched my kid die again to save the planet."
Like you're not going to get me to say a bad word about Arrival now.
No, I know, because she's also an important person for you still.
Love Amy Adams.
Yeah, love Amy Adams. But no, I just think tonally it's not the right choice. I honestly also too would have loved to see Villeneuve get out of the franchise filmmaking for a little bit and make something like an Arrival or like a Sicario. But I mean, I just think the guy has been trying to be Christopher Nolan his entire career, and I think he's really doing it this time by taking the franchise that Nolan wants the most. But Nolan doesn't need that because he's the most important filmmaker on the planet, and he's going to give us the Odyssey, and it looks great. So, yeah, I'm sure.
Man, you're just a Nolan shill now.
I
You're out of
think
control,
no, but I
man.
do think that Nolan. I do think Villeneuve. You've always compared Villeneuve and Nolan,
Oh, absolutely.
and
Well, I used to do that unfavorably.
and now it's the other way,
I used to say Villeneuve was Nolan with a heart, and now I'm kind of like
the other way around. Really.
Nolan is Villeneuve with a brain.
Yeah,
It's a
Wow.
very much a Wizard of Oz situation.
it's very much flipped. But I just think that.
I mean, that's not entirely true, but
but I think it. I think it depends on.
I've kind of just come to the decision that they both have their strengths and weaknesses.
But if the rumored of the 3 people that they won is true, that project is doomed.
I'm definitely more excited for a new Nolan movie than a new Villeneuve movie.
Because
Agreed.
I think the idea of a Lordy, even Harris Dickinson,
Too
who
tall.
I think too tall,
Harris Dickinson too
plain face,
shifty.
Yeah, and Tom Holland is not it.
If Tom Holland is Bond, I might actually not see the movie.
Yeah, I think that that's a fair point. Though,
I'm boycotting this movie.
I mean that's fair because I just think
No, I
he's.
get it.
I mean, I saw him in Uncharted, and this is the joke I've always said about it. It's like he said he got like really ripped and buff for Uncharted, and I have always contested that his body is CGI'd. Like there is no way that he looks like a child, 100%.
Dream Bond,
and this might
casting,
get me
go.
in trouble. This might get me in trouble, but the optics of somebody playing 007 who's an alcoholic is I think a little bit. I don't think he would do it, honestly. Like just probably not a smart idea for him.
All right,
Personally.
weird take. Dream.
Not a weird take. I think it's
Bond.
fair. You can't be writing, marketing the last 6 months for a non-alcoholic beverage and then play a guy that takes martinis shaken, not stirred. Like, get out of here, dude. Like, Bond is a truly tragic, alcoholic piece of shit character. Like, no, I do not see Tom Holland playing that very well.
No, I agree with you and Tom Holland in general. Dream Bond casting, go.
Casper Van Dien.
Oh, he would be good.
I think I
Aged
would.
Bond.
I would really like. This, Jay. I'm still on the. I would love Daniel Kaluuya to be James Bond train.
I mean, it's a great pick. I'm all on the Aaron Pierre train now.
But I also, after watching F1, I'm big on the Damson Idris train as well too. Young, full of charisma, can act really well and steal scenes from Brad Pitt. He's got a good swagger in interviews. I think he could do it. I think he could do it. And he's young.
Fiennes do it.
Just let you know what? Let Kenneth Branagh in his Tenet accent do it. Let's let him do it.
Give it to
what about-
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh God, no. No. That's a good way for me not to see the film at that point.
Here's an actual question, and we're making jokes and fine. Tim Robinson, I think would be pretty good.
Be like almost like a Casino Royale, the comedy version.
I think you should Bond.
I think you should. I really do love this show. Sometimes we come up with really dumb prompts.
Yeah,
Next week,
we're doing great.
we will be back. We will be. What will we be talking about, Jay? We'll be talking about Hollow Man.
Holloman.
Hollow Man's next week. You excited about that, Jay?
I'm very excited to talk about that. It's a fascinating movie. Have you seen it?
Yeah, like a long time ago.
Okay.
It's been
Yeah.
it's been a hot minute since I've seen it. Long enough to not remember it, if that makes sense.
It's like very.
We'll talk about
normal.
it. We'll talk about it. We're
The
gonna talk-
Hollow Man. Are we talking about the freaking heads of the guys up in Washington?
Oh,
man.
there it is. And on that note, we'll see you all next time.